What's the edge doing? We know land strains it somewhere.
It doesn't go on forever.
Well, until you're supposed to go on forever, you believe that.
I've got sections from years ago. I don't need this sort of conversation.
It's deep and meaningful.
This section more recently than that.
This is going to be great for you, independent group thinking.
Yeah,
I've not been on videos.
No, no, I'm pointing that way.
Right,
It's
okay,
deep and meaningful. It's not chit chat. It's great.
Yeah. But where's the edge? Where's the edge?
Well, let's just
Ooh, hi guys, we're now in St Austell. Time is about 2 o'clock. Harry's engaging already, but the lady doesn't want to go on camera, so that's okay. We'll let them alone for a minute. It's a bit of a late start. We actually did set up earlier on, and where we set up, it was on private property and we were asked to move. So we would have been a lot earlier, but now we've now set up a little bit more on the main thoroughfare of St Austell, and it's a little bit less people here, but that's okay. Yeah, that's a shame. Oh, it's always a shame, you know, like that. She doesn't want to go on camera, but normally I would have the camera in their face, so if they approach me then I don't mind, but this is a little bit different. Hiya. Hi Trav. You alright? Yeah, did you get a leaflet? Did he pass you on? Excellent. Brilliant. So Harry's already had a chat to this that gentleman there. Really good chat, quite open-minded, you know. So we had the most funniest thing this morning. We got to speak to a guy who used to fly Vulcan jets and things, and a lot of other planes and that. Swears blind he'd see the curvature, and then when we challenged him on it, he says, well, I was always in the back, so maybe I did or maybe I didn't. So yeah, I mean, whether you're in the back or in the front, surely you would know that there's curvature. But he changed. I think he backtracked a little bit. It was quite funny. So, well, I'm sorry we didn't get that. He caught us off guard. He approached the van a little bit too quick. So, look at this. Getting a little bit of sun here. It's very, very windy here at the moment. You'll see. This is the problem with the banners. You see, they act like sails. So, you'll see on the other side, we managed to find a really good bit of support. You might be able to hear. Or maybe not. Oh well, she's interested. Oh, there you go. Right. You can see it all back to front now, I think. a little bit quiet here. Well, that's unusual. I've seen a lady going behind the banner there. Now she's changed her mind. Right. It's a shame because the bit where we were before it was really busy, which is a shame. The second I set up, the security was on me within seconds, you know, like of me just dropping the banners, and it's very polite, the first guy, and then we asked if we could have permission and that, and then someone a little bit higher up come over, all authoritative like, and demanded that we get lost. So, well, rather than argue and wait for the police to come and all that, it was we did have a second location in mind. Where are we? Let me just think where we are. I think they call it 4th Street this. So if anyone's about and they want to come down to St Austell and join us, we'll be here for, I would imagine, probably till about 6 o'clock or so. So you're welcome to come and join us if there's anyone close by. I'll give you a shout if we get moved on again, but I believe it is 4th Street. I'm trying to find a sign. It's probably at the end there. I'll let you have a look. Oh, it's a nice. It's in Cornwall. It's I think a 7 mile inland from the sea. It is 4th Street. So if anyone wants to join me, we're in 4th Street. You know, believe it or not, this is probably the busiest road that has been pedestrianised. We've been moved on. We were in a private space, but this is all public, this one, so hopefully we shouldn't get moved on here. There's always someone with an authoritative position that wants to show us feathers, how important he is, and tell us to move on. So, as you see, Harry's engaging there. It's a little bit quiet here, but it's very windy. As you see, we're kind of we're all strapped in. I don't think we're going anywhere. Fingers crossed. I'm not putting the lady on. She's asked not to be filmed, and we try and respect it. If people come up very abusive, then no, we won't respect them. But if they're respectful, then yeah, we'll be respectful too. You know. So. Hi guys, could you give us an okay if you can hear me okay and video is okay, because I think we're getting a little bit of buffering. Hiya John. Yeah, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, oh here we go. Oh, would you like to take a leaflet?
What's written there? What?
Oh, let's have a go.
What else is your theory based on?
Well, land that we shouldn't be able to see. That's the thing. If you look on the back of that leaflet, there's.
So you're proving all.
Are you okay, or would you like me to move away? Yes, sir.
You're trying to prove educated scientists are wrong.
Well, the thing is, I mean, like.
What qualifies you to give an
well,
authority
because.
on it?
Oh, well, there you go.
I would rather take the opinion.
Yeah. Well, do you believe that your governments tell you all the truth always?
No, excluding government.
Well, it's the government.
The known practice, even going back in Egyptian
It's like education science is like run from the government. So
mankind's knowledge, irrespective of government decisions, etc. If we all applied by government decisions, we'll all be hung up in the bloody air.
See, I mean, you're a mature,
I will read it.
excellent, but you're a mature adult. I mean, you've got the right to question things. It's your right.
Yeah, of course.
So we've got the right, and what we're doing, we've got a difference of opinion.
But wouldn't you be serving better time.
But you haven't looked at the facts yet.
No.
This could be the biggest lie ever.
Would you be doing better to better mankind at this moment in time when there's so many homeless and destitute?
Yes, and that's what we're trying to expose, because like places like the science organisations, like NASA for instance, £53 million per day. And I've just seen a homeless guy here asking for money, and that's nonsense. That is £53 million a day they get to show us what? CGI cartoons.
Yeah.
This guy could have, he shouldn't be sat there asking for
But
money.
that's not the only public.
No, you're
or
quite
government
right.
Wastage.
You're quite right.
You could go into billions and billions and billions of pounds.
Yeah.
One example being, do we really need the royal family costing billions of pounds and all the hangers-on?
You need to really look at this, because all these people that they agree with you here, you need to check this out.
Round to it, if you ever get a publication of a book which they tried to ban,
Okay.
which didn't persuade me until I read the book. It was called My Queen and I, Woody Hamilton.
Oh, right, okay. I remember that.
That is the most fascinating, and if you're totally ignorant of how and what the royals represent
Yeah.
in the last 500 years, let alone in modern times,
Yeah.
it's shocking.
See, the thing is, I've always been conflicted. Like, my mum's been a royalist; she loves the royal family and all that.
Right.
And then I've grown up to know the opposite, exactly the way you feel. You know, like to think that they shouldn't be. What right of them? I'm a human being. I've got just as much rights. Who are they?
It's not so much as having the figurehead called the Queen and perhaps her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, who's by virtue of that just a nonity anyway. He's
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
bloody hanger-on
Yeah.
due to being married to the Queen. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, the Queen has not even got any political power. It's just all. She's a puppet. She's a puppet.
Yeah, yeah.
She's only a figurehead.
That's it.
And if you go into what wealth she represents and the amount of money it's spent on her, even just to carry out pomp and ceremony, it is just people shut a blind eye to it. and
Choking
say,
you, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I really do. I agree. Look, there's a website in there as well. I mean, check a little bit further out, but we agree with you.
But anyway, referring to the chap who, we've got to be wise in this big world, trust me.
Yeah.
If I had given to everyone who requests the £2 every time you bloody see them,
Yeah.
and sitting there look as if they're a bit ragged and a bit distraught, etc., you'd be £20 or £50 every week, because they're springing up everywhere, but they're opportunists.
Yeah.
If you ask where they're actually sleeping outside, I can take you around this whole town
Yeah.
at 12 o'clock at night, and you'll only find one.
Really?
The rest are decoys.
Ouch.
Do you know why?
Go on.
Because I know.
Yeah.
I look and I observe.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
is only one, and I can take you to the tent where it's all these, they're actually in bed sits, or they're opportunists coming from a knock lane.
I see.
And they're just sitting there playing the
I
part
see.
because they're raking in £30-40 a day.
And it's not fair, is it? Because there is genuine people out there as well. It's not fair. It's nice talking to you. Oh, okay, buddy. Right. Oh, well. Now I'm in front of the banner. That's better. Yeah, I think you might be right. Well, we'll see. You know, like, but yeah, he may not look at the evidence. When you got people that are very opinionated, you almost know not to push things. You know, like for confrontation and that. I tell you what, it's gorgeous, lovely and sunny here. Absolutely lovely it is. So he's at it again. Oh, this is lovely. This the sun's come out. You're right. He's come back for more. Go on.
Subject to the information I've given you,
Yes.
heavens knows how many times I've been approached in the last 2 weeks with the story. One being, it's a favourite, it's a classic.
Yeah, good.
And they've all got it well rehearsed. Just got off the train and all of a sudden they found themselves and you got a couple of quid. Or alternatively,
I've heard this one before as well.
alternatively, it could be near on. Everything is closed late at night and they seem to want money for a post of chips.
yeah.
It goes on forever.
I do agree on. There's a lot of fake ones out there. You know, it's a shame. Puts the genuine people.
Stranded in town, they want to get back home. And if they're so stranded, there's a facility for them. If you go to the council, get a travel warrant.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to keep that in mind. Might need one at the end of this trip. Yeah.
It's done last week and it's done quite regular.
All right.
Rather ship people out of town.
Yes. Then look after them. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's some news. If you go to the council and you say that you're homeless, and they'll give you a travel warrant to get lost. So if you ever need bus fare or a train ticket, there's your answer. You heard it from St. Austell. Oh, are you? Thank you. Yes. So John Thor's at the vegan fish and chip shop in. I don't even want to tell you all where he's living, just in case he doesn't want you all to know. But it's a gorgeous fish and chip shop. Oh, right. So it's fish and chips. So, but they have a huge vegan selection, which is just beautiful, gorgeous. I can't even think. You'll have to tell them, John, the name of it in case someone's in that area, because they need to try. Ah, there you go. It is Wolverhampton. Yeah. I didn't want to give it away, John. There you go. Let's see if these guys want a leaflet. It's always hard to try and get a leaflet out. Here you go, buddy. Do you want to grab a leaflet? Yeah, you got to have a laugh. No, it's not a vegan fish and chip shop, Jamie Brown. It is a fish and chip shop that has a great vegan selection on their menu. Yeah, it's very quiet here. I mean, everybody seems to be so busy. If you look, I mean, they're all walking fast. I think it's almost like the tourist trade is left, and these are the locals now, and too busy to get to places. Yeah. So for those of you who just joined us, we were meant to set up at around about 12:30, 1 o'clock. So we set up in the busier part of the town centre, where like Argos and Costa and T-Max is all there, but that's all on private property. And the second that we set up, it's people here. The second that we set up and released the banners, we were asked to move on by security. They swarmed on us very, very quickly. You know, would you like to grab a leaflet? There you go. You're right. Yeah, so this is site number 2 of St. Austell. I'm not filming. People filming the banner. You just walk through. Oh yeah, I mean, like, if people can always walk away from me.
Yeah, we
That's okay. No, I'm not being deceptive at all. It's out in the open. Oh God, there's so many triggered people. I don't think that's just St. Austell. That's just I think, you know, when they say there's one idiot in every town, there's one triggered person in every town. God. And the thing is, you can film and you'd be kind of told off for it, and yet the BBC could arrive, and as long as they got a placard that says BBC, well, they'll be okay with it. That's fine. Pretty silly. Yeah, as you can see, the wind's really picking up. We've tried to yeah, there's always one. So we've tried to secure this best we can, but the wind wants to. The wind thinks it's a yacht. Right, I will stay here, and hopefully someone will take notice. It's I'm actually doing what, you know, when you look up in the sky and then you start pointing, then all of a sudden you got a crowd and they start pointing. So if I'm filming the banner, people want to look at the banner, which is what is actually happening. No one's stopping though, everybody's too busy. Yeah, Harry, you've had 3 good conversations now.
3, I've lost count. 3.
Yeah.
I was setting up this camera here just discreetly.
Yeah.
Because the people that I've spoken to didn't want to be filmed. So
Yeah. Well, I've just been told off by a lady for filming. Are you filming the people?
Yeah, which lady was that?
Someone who just, well, she's, yeah.
Oh, remember the
Hey lady, yeah. But the thing is, I'm holding a camera.
Can I just say that guy was flat earth for a couple of years? So very well informed as well.
Right. Okay.
He didn't really want to be in camera. I caught a conversation on my camera, but I probably wanted to visual.
Yes. Yeah. I was telling everyone before about the guy who flies Falcon jets. Well, I'm afraid we're having a bit of a slow day. As I say, we'll get some busy days and we'll get some slow days, and this is what it's like when it's live. When you see a video that is edited, you get to see the best bits of a long day, you know. So sometimes we just get slow sections if it, you know, if we're live. All right, so would you like a leaflet? Oh, you got one?
Yeah.
Have you come across it before?
No.
No, really? Have you got an internet at home? Do you have internet at home? Oh, you do. All right. That's the biggest thing on the internet talk right now. It's a big, yeah. It's a big discussion. It is, you know. Yeah. So basically, we're starting at a standpoint that we believe that we've been lied to in our education. Okay, because when we were like 5 years old and we were told of the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus and things, we were put this presented with this globe. But when we were that young, we didn't have the ability to critically think and to examine where it is that we live. We're adults now, and most of us never examined it. We just went through life believing what we were told when we were young. So we think, as an adult now, you should have the right to question this. Yeah. So and then when we look at it and we say, well, how could water cling to a ball spinning at 1,000 miles an hour with centrifugal force, 1,000 miles an hour spinning?
I suppose the laws of gravity.
So you said laws of gravity, but it is actually a theory of gravity, you know. Anyway, so the theory of gravity, we've later on found out that it's kind of magic. No one knows where it comes from. It's like a magic force. It's Harry Potter wizardry. You know, so this magic force, we think it's 2018. Do you think we should have proof of this now? Do you think they should be able to demonstrate in some way? I mean, we can see the effects of things that fall, but that doesn't prove that it's being pulled. So we're just asking for proof. It's 2018. We should, you know, of all the experiments that they're doing around the world, do you think that they could show us proof? So we're trying to challenge them, and we think, and we know that this is the molecules in this is heavier than around it, and when I release it, apart from the wind going to take this off, this will fall through the air because the air is lighter than the molecules in this, which is heavier. So we know it's density and buoyancy and not gravity. So what a perfectly adequate explanation of what is actually happening. But gravity, they'll just say, well, we don't know. We can explain sort of why things drop, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You see. So we're not convinced, and we're not happy. The photographs from space, we've lots of people are online now, and they're having it forensically examined. There's a chap called Paul on the plane. He's done a fantastic job, and he's exposed nearly all this NASA fakery of all these images. That guy there, that's Robert Simmons. He actually worked for NASA, and he creates all the balls of Earth. I would say all of them, but he's been known to create some. And he takes these high altitude images, he wraps them around a 3D blank sphere, you know, like, and then he puts the layering of the clouds and layering of the oceans and things like that in, and he creates them, and then they're presented to us as actual photographs. And he's on record. You can hear him, you know, on record, also talking about it. Works for NASA and that. And this has been going on for years. All of these images that we've ever seen of Earth, they're not real. We've had them forensically analysed, and like they're fake. That's Earth. They are photographs of Earth. And I've been saying to people, which one is fake? Because they look so different. So they look hugely different. But they are real photographs of Earth. But you only have to go over and have a look and see that they're cartoons. They're not photographs. I know. I'm an adult now. I know what a photograph looks like. You could spot a photograph than a cartoon a mile off. Yeah. But that's what's presented to us on NASA. So how can we verify anything that, you know, if they're doing a lot of this faking, how can we verify what they say is true? So we're examining it, and the more that we examine, the more that jigsaw pieces, the house of cards, it keeps falling down. I mean, like, and it doesn't make sense. As I say, gravity was the biggest proof that I ever had that we lived on a globe. But there's no such thing as gravity. It's just not proved. It's not. It's a silly wizardry magic. Now you find it interesting now. It's very interesting. I'm on that leaflet, there is, if you've got access to the internet, there's a web address there, and we're just asking people to just watch a couple of videos and make your own judgment what you think is actually going on.
My first question would be, if it's flat, what's underneath?
Well, we don't know. And we're happy we don't know, because we've not taken anyone to go and have a look. I mean, like, so we can't have the answers to everything, because I could make stuff up. Because that's what like science is doing. They're just making stuff up. Like they'll give you explanations of black holes and dark matter and sort of wormholes and all that. No one's ever seen this stuff. These are just theories and, you know, like people's imaginations. Yeah. So yeah, we choose not to make stuff up. But I mean, it's a legitimate question. We just don't know. You know. But it's I mean, we're told that space goes on forever. In another theory, infinite space goes on forever, and we accept that, and we're happy with that. We don't challenge it and that. And yet, could land go, if we were on a flat surface, could land go on forever? Does it have to stop anywhere? And we don't know. But we're asking this question. We're asking questions that people should investigate. So all we're doing is bringing this to people's attentions, and hopefully, if enough people want to know what's happening in the world around them, then hopefully that we can go further. But at the moment, it's early days. So I mean, like seasons and that. Seasons never made any sense to me. See, I mean, if the sun's 93 miles away and then 91 million miles away at the closest point. Then the distance from where I am here to, let's say, Antarctica, that's about 6,000 miles or so, 5,500 miles or something. I mean, like, so we're talking a 2 million mile difference where the sun gets closer, or a 5,500 mile difference, and yet we've got these vast differences in temperature. It makes no sense whatsoever. Not when the sun gets 2 million miles closer. Yeah. So yeah, seasons never made it. But if you look at a flat Earth model, we don't have an exact model because, again, we don't know. You know, like, but the models on seasons kind of work really well. The fact that in our summer, the sun gets closer and closer to our north and circles our north, and we've got evidence of that. There is a 24-hour sun. So on this 24-hour sun that goes round, and then as it starts going, we start going into our winter, this 24-hour sun is meant to go into the south. So you should have this 24-hour sun in the south. If you've got it on one side of the globe, it should be on the other side. And there's no footage of that. But there's tons of footage of the 24-hour sun in the north. But we're asking, well, we want this footage in the south. But there's nothing. Again, we've got legitimate questions, you know, and it's a big surprise. And, you know, like, I mean, we're all adults now. We should be allowed to ask questions now, and, you know, without being mocked and ridiculed. And strange. Are you going to look into it? Good. Excellent. As I say, there's a couple of videos in there. It's really interesting. And
You can't find the half.
oh, right.
So she's strong in all the gravitational force.
I don't doubt that.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah, and you too. Nice talking to you. There you go. He was a nice man. Yeah. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Because some people, as they get older and that, they're really nice to talk to, and I get quite a lot out of talking to older people. You see, a lot more wiser and things. But there's a lot more older people that are quite stubborn and argumentative. But yeah, that was a nice conversation, that. And fingers crossed, he will look into it, but it's difficult. I think at that age he might.
Someone should be able to replicate that, but you can't replicate gravity.
Right.
Same as a curvature, it'll tell you it's a curvature.
So Harry's having another good conversation. A lot of people don't want to be filmed here, because Harry does ask everybody if he can film them, and so it's quite surprising that he's not getting his camera out.
Leaf system, scientists would.
Right.
Water cannot perform receive the ball, no matter how many times you use the
Do you want to know what's most interesting? Because when I go to school and I did 3 years of college, it was around the law. My brother said it's quite clever and stuff, so around the law kind of things. It's like, it's kind of like school, but I forgot it. Like football. Just because I've been probably.
Oh, it may be another million miles closer. I don't even think they know. I mean, like, I imagine it's probably wherever you got your information from, what university or what. God, yeah. So I might have had my facts wrong on that. It might have been 3 million miles closer. I'll have to check that tonight. Yeah, this is the problem, like, because you don't talk about certain things over and over and over. It's trying to remember these things, these facts. So occasionally I might get the odd facts wrong. It's not a hugely big importance, as long as they get to see, as long as we're bringing them to flat Earth. They'll end up making their own experiments, examinations, their own research. Would you like a leaflet, sir? Would you like a leaflet?
Yeah, okay.
There you go. There's a website in there.
Okay.
Thank you. Right. Yeah, we were talking about that last night, me and Harry, about getting people the correct facts and that. I think you should try and get as much facts as possible, but you can't fear not giving them the correct facts. As long as we get them to flat Earth, they can do it themselves. That's what we need to do. It's hard to remember everything. I kind of, every time we do activism and I hear somebody else talk about it, I kind of learn something else and learn something else every time I hear and think, oh my God, why didn't I, oops, don't know if you, oh, she got a Harry Potter bag on her. Maybe she believes in gravity. All right. My wife likes Harry Potter, so yeah, she still believes in gravity. Yeah, it's kind of a small town, this, Yeah. We'll soon see you, John. I don't know if you know, John's going to be joining us at some point. There's a leaflet there, but there you go.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Right.
I reckon the Greeks found that out ages ago when they was doing all the stars, and then.
Which one? Like Aristophanes was. He was to do with the circumference. What was it? Galileo, was it?
Yeah.
Galileo, probably. Yeah. I mean, like, but how can we be sure that they've verified that correctly?
Obviously, they can't see what's in front of us.
Yeah.
It makes sense to tell a lot.
So,
Can you stop it?
hey, no. Ooh. Yeah. So, I mean, like, so you're happy to trust your own senses first?
Yeah,
You know?
of course, yeah.
Definitely. You know, I kind of think the very fact that we're meant to be spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and have you seen these people like standing pebbles on top of each other? And it looks amazing. You think, hang on, the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, you know, like, and traveling at 67,000 miles an hour, and we're being hurtled along the galaxy at 500,000 miles. And these pebbles and these like lakes are really. Hi guys. Oh, there's a website in there as well. All right.
I used to follow them all on Facebook, Flat Earth.
You do.
Right, okay. And then lots of the rest of the world now get really upset with all.
Yeah. Oh, there's been a lot of arguments and in-house fighting and things. You know.
I believe in this.
Yeah. Well, there's a website in there for you. You know, like check it out a bit further and God, spread the word. Yeah. So how long have you kind of known all of this then?
Well, for quite a while, you see all your maps and everything else. I don't know what I was sailing at the time.
Well, I've done sailing, but I never give it a thought. I did lots of sailing. Right. Yeah. Hi guys. Yeah, that's right. I seen that. It's a very poor signal here. It is. Can you give us an okay if you can hear me and see correctly? Yeah, excellent. Thank you. It isn't. It's on. Sorry, I've just been told by Harry that I've stopped, but I haven't. Refresh your screen, Harry. You know. Okay. Aha. Yeah. Cheers, John. Yeah. We got Carphone Warehouse there. I've got the EE shop, and believe it or not, I'm struggling for internet. Just nonsense. We'll see. I'll try and carry on for about an hour, and then I'll see if I can get a better connection at the EE shop. Who knows? Might be able to nick a bit of their Wi-Fi. So I'm sure they give away free Wi-Fi at their shop. We'll see. Yeah, so anyway, for those of you who just joined me, it is now 2:30. I've only been going probably for about half an hour now. Thank you, Richard. It's 2:30. We're in St. Austell. That's how you do it. That's how you spell that. We did set up at of one. I managed to set everything up. Just got the banners down, and then security came along and told us to move on. So that wasn't nice, which was a bit annoying because we had to pack it all up again and then come up to another level. Right. Back again. Yeah, as you can see, I'm having a few buffering problems.
I'm good, mate.
So, yeah, it is. The signal's terrible here. Yeah, I think that's Cornwall for you. I think what it is, I think I need to be on this side. I think when I go over that side over there, I think I lose signal. So I'll try and keep on this side. The problem is I keep seeing people, so I need to hand out some leaflets. Would you like to take a leaflet? Yeah, there you go. Would you like a leaflet? Go for it. You'll have to get excellent. Thank you. Right, if they're not stopping, I'd like them to at least take it. We don't hand leaflets out to absolutely everyone. The second that I see them look over and they show a little bit of interest, then that's when they'll get a leaflet. What we need is John Thor, because he red pills everyone. No one would get past us, Thank you, Dirth. Oh, Dirth, thank you, Dirth. Thank you, David. You get used to it, also just seeing these these usernames. So, I see Harry, he is engaging. I think he's a flat earther, this guy. Yeah. I've heard that story before. Yeah, just dogs playing games.
Definitely. I know there's more to the because no matter what government change, nothing changes. All this money goes to these people. I mean, all this austerity we go through. The money just doesn't get thrown in the fire. Where is it going? It's going up there. Why?
Well, we think it's going up there, but we think it's going into the pockets of these rich people. Don't you think that voting is a religious choice?
Oh, definitely. Well, exactly. That's what you said. It doesn't matter who's in, nothing changes. Nothing changes.
The rich get richer, poor
Yeah,
get poorer.
yeah, it's their show. It's the front for us mugs, people, whatever they're
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So what do you think about the idea that we may be living on a flat plane rather than
I have a
spinning
problem
ball?
with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do, because how come no one's ever got to the edge of it?
Yeah. Well, if you look at, say, a big lake where you can't see the edges, you know there's a boundary there somewhere because all water has to be contained.
Yeah,
So why can't a flat have not contained water?
yeah, but where's the edge?
So he's not a flat earther, but he is questioning.
It's probably a bit like that. I want to be on a square or on a circle or on...
Well, I can't say it's not fact, but there is evidence that there is a boundary around it that is the ice wall. Now, I can't prove that. It's been documented in history that there is an ice wall. And you can actually see pictures of it. See it on an airplane, see evidence of an ice wall. Yeah, yeah.
That Antarctic just goes right
Yeah.
round us from the north to the south.
Yeah, well, Captain Cook recorded in the journals that sailed for 75,000 miles around the ice wall and he couldn't find an entrance.
200,000 miles.
No, 76,000 miles.
76,000 miles. And you couldn't
No,
get
couldn't
past
see
it.
it. Whether that's true or not, but that's in the journal. And
Yeah.
another sailor
And that's
also.
something he wrote down. See, there's another thing.
We don't get taught that at school.
No,
And we don't get taught the scientific experiments to prove the earth has moved either.
such as
Nicholas Bohr
experiment.
No, I know. David's field here. And Simon all went out to measure the movement of the earth. So they all had to conclude the earth doesn't move.
Yeah, sorry, John. It's a bit difficult to.
But I would ask you, do you feel any spin?
Not at all, no.
Yeah, we don't trust our own senses.
Put on a leaflet there. You don't need a leaflet now.
Sorry, no, it's alright.
No, that's fine. That's okay. There you go.
What exactly are you doing, Rick?
We're exposing the fraud that education and science have been, telling lies. No, they don't exist.
Of course they bloody do.
How do you know that?
Because I worked on the Skynet 5 system for
Okay.
Extria.
And you seen them go up and you went with
Yeah.
it. So you went with it. You're an astronaut.
Of course. How the hell?
So what I'm saying, the cell towers.
I guess you
Cell
think you're-
towers and what's it? Enhanced LORAN. Cell towers.
Lauren is,
It's for communications.
yes, it's now obsolete.
Okay, that's what they tell you.
They use. It's
That's
not
what,
used.
but they do use the same. They do use the
Yeah.
same system. I've met other people before that worked, within satellites and that.
What
But
are you trying to
they.
prove? You're trying to prove something that is unfeasibly impossible.
Well, you're suggesting that these satellites are in space and they're 2,500 degrees Celsius. You're
No, no,
suggesting
no.
that?
Heat only. What happens is
Okay.
heat only becomes
Are you
heat
okay?
when it touches
I can move it away if you're okay. If you're not
Why are
okay.
you taking photographs?
Well, that, because you're engaging with me. I mean, I can move it away. but look, I mean, I know what you're saying. You're saying that, but there is a difference between direct heat and radiative heat.
No.
Really?
The reason these don't get hot is because in the shade it's
Okay.
below zero. It's
Which
not
shade?
absolute zero.
What shade?
Well, out of the sun.
Shade from what? What shade?
Shaded from the sun. Aren't they?
How are they shaded from the sun?
Mechanisms are shaded from the sun.
So, oh, you mean
Sunlight.
right? But
Some of the satellite is in direct sunlight.
2,500 degrees Celsius it gets. That's NASA's own figures. And you can go to science.com. No.
I'd like to know what you're trying to prove. Actually.
Well, we're trying to prove.
Well, what else have you got here then?
Okay, so let's have a look.
Well, you reckon that the Earth is a disc?
No.
Or flat?
No. Oh well, we know it's flat. That's obvious. So if you grab that leaflet, I'll show you what's on the other side, and I'll show you why it's obvious. Okay? Because on the back of there is land that you shouldn't be able to see. It should be over the curvature of the Earth. Okay, this land. Okay.
Have you
24.
ever flown in an aeroplane?
Well, see, you've just glossed over that, but that is proof enough.
No, it isn't proof enough.
24,000 miles circumference. There has to be a mathematical formula to it.
Any satellite that is in a geosynchronous orbit, i.e. it can see one
Okay.
part of the Earth in space now,
Yeah.
will take a picture and it will show you exactly that this thing is a cylinder, is a
A
sphere.
sphere, okay. But you believe them pictures to be, because we've had them forensically analysed, and then every time we get them, we get the wrong noise on the satellites.
That are in a low Earth orbit, you know,
Okay.
that are working with the European Space Agency. They have side-looking radar.
Yeah.
They have long-term cameras that can take pictures.
Okay.
It's all.
Have you checked like the footage from the Himawari satellite? You know, like, and you see this image of what's at the moon that are going over.
I admire your thoughts.
Well, no. I mean, like you say this is
But
land.
stand up and do
This is land that you shouldn't be able to see. It's irrefutable.
Hang on, you're a comedian, aren't you?
It's irrefutable.
You're doing this for the TV.
I'm serious, sir. Look, if you look at that land, that's 65 miles away.
Yeah.
That's the guy who took it is on Blackpool Promenade, based on spherical trigonometry, Pythagorean's theorem.
Yeah.
That land should be hidden under the 25,000 feet of hidden curvature.
Depends how high you are. You can see.
Well, he's on the
farther over
promenade.
horizon,
It's on the
depending where
promenade.
you are. No.
Well, it was in the Blackpool Gazette. It was on the promenade, and when you're on Snaefell, you can see England.
What's your name?
It's Jason. When you,
Steve
sorry, I'm stuck. Yeah, no, I'm saying check that
Foreign
land out.
satellite
The
system,
bottom one
yeah.
there is 273 miles longest distance photograph. You can see land.
So how many people have stopped and had a chat with you?
Oh, we're going all around the country, and we speak to thousands of people.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion.
Thank you very much. But look, there's a website in there. I mean, would you be open-minded enough to at least watch one video that's on there?
Yes, but everything you're saying is crap.
Well, yeah, in your opinion at the moment, before you've seen the information.
I'm not being insulting to you, but everything you've
Well, I know, but I wouldn't dare go and turn around and say that everything in your satellite is crap as well, even though I know that they don't go into space. Because I know how
Sky TV.
I know how propulsion works. I know that propulsion can't work in space. Newton's third law, it won't allow it to work.
Well, what happens is you fling them into space, and the motion keeps them going.
So what about the APU units? You know, like the guys who put these, is it APC, where they put these units on and then they go over here and they go over there and they turn around, and where's the propulsion coming from? How do they move in space once that gas is released from them jetpacks?
Well, once you have gas, moving in space is rather like pushing blocks
Against
on
which?
ice.
Against
There's no
what?
resistance, no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing to push against. That's Newton's third law.
Once you overcome inertia, then the thing will move.
For every action, there is an opposite and equal reaction. Newton's third law. So what is it pushing against?
Well, once it
Vacuum of
starts moving,
space.
If it's launched from a satellite from a low Earth orbit,
Okay.
and it will go into a geosynchronous orbit.
So we're talking about this.
32,000
All right. Okay.
miles out. Once it's moving, it won't stop.
Right. So is that what it is? So when these
It will
guys,
decay slowly.
so when these guys go out in their jetpacks, how are they moving? How do they go left, right, upside down? Because
small propulsion, I guess.
against which?
Small Newton. I can't remember what it's called now. Newton. What I measured it. Newton meters.
Okay.
Measurement. I'm retired, so
No.
it's been a long time since I've
No,
dealt
I'm
with
sure. Okay, but like we're suggesting something that's totally different than what you were taught.
satellites exist.
Okay.
The Earth is round. It's
Right.
a planet.
Well, you think, yeah, that's in
We'll
your
settle on that
opinion. Okay, so how does water We know that water has to find its lowest level and remains flat no matter what. The physics of water does not bend round spheres. We know this to be true. Okay, so how does water bend right round the whole sphere of a planet?
Because the planet is so big and it has such gravitational pull that it will hold it in.
Right,
That's
so,
what
so,
holds the atmosphere
so
in.
you were taught at
It's
school,
spinning at 15,000 mile an hour, it's holding the atmosphere in.
and you were taught this at
If it goes
school
any
at the
slower,
age...
if it's any smaller with less density, there'll be less gravity and it'll spin off.
Okay, so but you were taught this at school, this magical force, this Harry Potter wizardry, this magical... No, I'm saying this because where is the proof that this exists? Because mankind hasn't got any science to back the fact that there is a pulling force, pulling everything down to the centre of the Earth. There is no experiment, there is nothing that works. You're showing and demonstrating that molecules in that are heavier than the air around it, and therefore, and therefore it falls through the
It's the
air.
size of Mars with the same density. Okay?
How can you prove this? How can you prove that? Do you see what I'm saying? And that's the problem with science. I mean, we're making up all these assumptions, but there is no proof to this.
No, all right. Well, I admire what you're doing.
Okay.
There's always two ways.
I know it's a huge difference of opinion. That's fine, but there is to see where I'm coming from. There's a website and there's a couple of videos for you to watch.
I'll have a look.
Thank you very much. It was nice talking to you. Thank you.
Well, it's a town full of wild dogs.
Yes, yeah, isn't it? We can hear wild dogs everywhere. Well, that was a satellite engineer who's worked with. Well, you heard it yourself. You know, has been part of putting satellites into his fake space. Yeah, there you go. That's right. So it's always more challenging when you've got someone who was more indoctrinated. So it's a little bit more challenging. And there we go. Yeah, so it's a very it's a quiet day, but what you'll see is Harry will put all this footage together, and it'll all be edited, and you'll see more conversations that I haven't grabbed. Oh.
What's your impression of it?
Oh, there you go. So we're going to stay here for a while. We're probably going to stay in St. Austell for some time. I think when we do a hangout this evening, since it's Monday, we're probably going to do a hangout live from Tesco's car park, and you can all see how everybody responds to the camper van, which will be interesting. We do not get some funny looks. It's all overcast here. Looks like it's going to rain.
Speak to the camera for YouTube. Can I give you a...
Yeah, buddy. Can you grab a leaflet? You all right?
Yeah, what's all this about?
All right. Okay.
We're being lied to.
Well, do you think your government knew all the truth? Oh, right. So you're halfway there.
They don't tell us all.
And what about science and education? I mean,
Even they're not telling all what's going on, whatever.
and that's what we're challenging. We're challenging the fact that since the age of 5 years of age, and you were presented the idea that you live on a globe, at what age to now did you ever challenge that? Did you ever ask critical thinking questions?
Well, I did when I was younger.
No, I didn't. No, I speak to most elderly people.
Some of that is just like, there's lot more things they should be telling us.
Right. So, one of the biggest proofs that we think that we know that we're living on a flat plane, okay, is the fact that water, okay, water always finds its lowest point and finds and levels out, doesn't it? Water always, whether it be in a cup, a bath, a lake, an ocean. So, how does water bend right round the whole globe? How does that happen?
We're a ball.
Yeah, we're meant to be a ball. So how does water?
How does water? Oh.
Go on. You've been taught it at school, you know. I know you know. So what is it? What holds that water to?
Force and the magnetism and stuff.
Okay.
Gravity.
Well done. Okay, so that's what we're taught. But did you know it was called the theory of gravity? Okay, so it's not been proven. There is no, there's no kind of science to back this up. That there is a force pulling you down right now. There is no. Well, we're meant to be spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, okay? And with centrifugal force, all that water should be shooting off into space or so.
But it's not. Gravity's keeping it down.
Or gravity's keeping it down. So we've got this is a magical formula what they've concocted up, okay? Because there is no proof about this special wizardry gravity, okay? Just Harry Potter stuff.
It's like. What else? Do you believe in NASA and stuff like that?
I'll finish on with gravity first. I'll give us 2 seconds. I'll tell you what it is. It's what you think is gravity. See this?
Yeah.
The molecules in this are heavier than the air around.
Oh, we've got nitrons, neutrons, and.
Well, there you go. There you go. But that will fall through the air because it's heavier. Okay. So the air underneath wants to go on top of it. This is called density and buoyancy. Yeah. We've always known why things fall down. It's just density and buoyancy. We don't need gravity. Okay. No. So we don't. So there you go. So it's density and buoyancy. What was your question you just asked then?
Well, we're kind of particles, aren't we?
Yes.
Kind of
I'm questioning.
We're an atom.
I'm questioning everything now because I'm told that we're atoms. I'm told that there's electrons and neutrons.
If you think in science logically,
Yeah.
we are an atom.
Okay.
Put and push all together if you think about it.
Yeah. Okay.
We're all born an atom.
See, I'm questioning everything all about science and education because I don't know how to prove that for myself.
No, nor do I.
All right, okay. So, because what it is that would you agree that we kind of like regurgitate to pass an exam?
Yeah.
You know, like, so, and if you had a difference of opinion and you said that, oh, I don't believe in these atoms or these electrons, do you think you would pass that exam?
Probably.
Oh, you think you will still? I think you get a fail.
But if you think I'm wrong, we are an atom.
Yeah, so they tell us. Yes.
We are an atom.
Yeah. But anyway, there is a website in that leaflet I just given you, and there's a couple of videos on there.
I'll have a look.
Watch a couple of them videos, and
Because I know all the government crap is not telling us what we need to do.
right.
That's all like.
As I said, you're halfway there.
Up that way.
Yeah.
And, around,
Yeah.
We're not the only people on the planet.
Well, we have a different of opinion there because I don't think we're a planet, but that's okay.
We're not the only people.
Okay.
We really ain't.
Yeah.
If you think China ages ago sent off a rocket up behind the moon, didn't they? Ages ago.
Well, that's what they tell you. They tell you stuff like that, but they kind of.
Who thinks the Earth's flat?
Oh, millions of us. Millions thinks the Earth's flat.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, like, how can we prove that that we live on a ball, a spinning ball at 1,000 miles per hour, faster than speeding bullets? I mean, do you feel as though that you're spinning right now, 1,000 miles per hour spinning, and you're also travelling around the sun at 67. Cheers, buddy. We're travelling around the sun at 67,000 miles per hour.
Right.
Take a couple of photos as well. Do you want a leaflet? There you go. Yeah. There's a website address there, and we're just getting people to go to a website, watch a couple of videos, and well, make your own mind up. You know, because when did you start believing that you're on the globe? What age?
You're off your fucking head, you are.
Oh, well, maybe so. But what age did you start believing?
I'll film this because I'm listening.
That's okay. See,
I still think we live on a flat fucking.
yeah. I mean, well, I was told this at the age of 5 when I believed in Santa Claus. And I don't believe in Santa Claus no more. How does water hold to a ball, a sphere?
Gravity, innit?
Well, that's what they tell us. The theory of gravity.
Why are you trying to do this?
Well, we're bringing to people's attention that gravity is a magical Harry Potter wizardry force that no one can prove. And science can't prove that it exists.
Things drop to the floor.
Density and buoyancy. The molecules in that are heavier than the air around it. Adequately explains. See,
Why would they do this?
I really don't know. No one's been taken to court. No one's been held account. But we're exposing it. We're exposing what's actually happening. It's the biggest lie ever. You know, do you believe in the government to tell you the truth?
That's different.
Well, no. Do the governments actually tell education and science? All right, then, buddy. There you go. I don't even want to say total indoctrination because he doesn't look that bright to be educated. So, yeah, it's getting a little bit getting a little bit wizardry. No, getting a little bit windy. Got wizardry on my mind. Bloody gravity. Yeah, that's right. Typical programming. Oh, you got matey's back again. Yeah, it was the guy who Harry filmed earlier on. You've got your leaflet still, haven't you? Yeah. I say there's a couple of videos in that a website address. Yeah, you'll enjoy them.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
Saying you guys are right,
Okay.
and with this flat disc,
Well, no, we're not suggesting for a disc. We don't. This is kind of like a model
we're
that.
a flat Earth.
Yeah. Okay. That's better because we really don't know. We use this as a model to explain a few
How
facts.
come everything else is moving and we're not?
So when you say
The
everything.
whole universe, like you said.
Oh, right, okay.
The
Well,
sun moves, but we don't.
I will give you my little dance. Okay, I do a little dance on this explanation. Okay, so what's happening now is that we're doing 1,000 miles an hour. We're spinning. Earth is meant to be spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. Earth is also meant to be traveling around the sun at 67,000 miles an hour. Okay, but the sun is dragging us, hurtling us through the galaxy at 500,000 miles an hour. Okay.
Right.
And then, if we look up what's it? Let's say Polaris, for instance. That's like our North Star. We look up at Polaris. Okay.
I know nothing about all that.
And all of these other stars are trillions and quadrillions of miles away.
Yeah.
Okay. Since astronomy began, there's no sign of parallax. Do you know what that is? It's when it kind of like we should be able to see stars that move in front of other stars and things. That's parallax. Well, even the pyramids of Giza are perfectly lined up with Orion's belt.
Yeah, I know the true north-south, isn't it?
And sailors are still, sailors can still navigate by the stars. They're still in the same place. Now, if you remember that, I just told you all that. There you go. Well, I've just told you all of their movements, like of us going around the solar system and that. These stars are meant to be doing their own trajectories, their own movements, their own spinnings, their own. We should be seeing so much. Every night of the week, that sky should change. There you go. Now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. This is what's happening here. I don't know if you can see that bit there.
450,000 miles an hour. Where's it going?
Look at that. I mean, look at that. That's a bit odd, isn't it? We're travelling around the Earth at 666 miles per hour around the sun.
The Earth. But we go round the sun.
The sun, that's it.
It's going 5 times faster than us.
Well, as I say, and the sun is meant to be dragging us through, the galaxy as well.
So how can we never run into
things? Anything, that's right. That's right. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, have you seen people, balancing these pebbles on top of each other?
Yeah.
And we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. Does that make sense?
Even just something as basic as that? No, it doesn't.
It doesn't make sense. So there you go. Would you like to take a look at it? You've just arrived. Oh, there you go.
What? Oh yeah, I've known that for years.
Excellent.
It's like a rock.
All right.
It's like, just underneath it's just a big rock.
Yeah. Well, we don't quite know what's there. I mean, there's a lot of guesswork to that.
We haven't been to space. Why haven't they been, back to the moon?
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's a big one.
50
So
years.
you don't believe the moon
We
landing?
haven't even got the radius of
No.
the moon
I
full
believe
of
it.
right.
I believe something else was there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, not so much aliens, but
See.
human beings. If we're here on this bloody planet, there's got to be other planets out there.
Well, that's what they say. I think that we're being indoctrinated to believe something that's not kind of real. I mean, like the moon landings, there was no blast crater under the limb. There was. Have you seen all the wrong shadows and things?
And you see the,
The waving flag,
Yeah,
you know, like there's actually it's meant to be damp on one side of the flag as well. You know, a bit of moisture has been spotted on it. There's noises. What's it? They start hammering this flag in. You can hear that, and the astronaut says, "Oh, I've got a microphone in my suit. It's just coming through my suit." And then he throws a rope to the limb, and it makes a noise. Well, there's no microphones.
Bounces. Have you noticed that?
Which one was that?
The rock and the feather on the moon, and they dropped them both at the same time.
Right. Oh, I'll have to look at that. I have seen that, but I never noticed that.
There's no gravity.
Yeah. Right.
How can that happen?
Yeah.
There's no gravity. You should hit the ground, shouldn't it?
Well, no, there is. They say that there is a gravity, but is it 1/6 of Earth? That's what they say. But we didn't go. We couldn't have gone. And if you look at this, if I spent time with you, I could probably give you 100 reasons why they didn't land on the
I've
moon.
flown in a plane.
Okay.
Yeah. And like you're above the clouds. You can see the curvature of the earth.
Well, that's what they say, and yet we keep taking So we take photographs of this. We take photographs of this curvature, and it's not there.
It's not like on a plane. You could,
It really isn't.
if you go to like on the coast, on the top of the cliff, you can actually see the curvature of the earth.
Everybody who's claimed to see the curvature, I've asked if I've got any evidence for that. He said no.
Only my eyes.
That's right. Everybody else says
I
that.
only believe what I can see.
Yeah.
With all due respect,
If someone tells me something,
with all due respect, I was swimming with the Loch Ness Monster last week.
yeah.
Would you believe me?
Well, yeah.
Why would you believe me?
Well, why would someone make it up? You know, why would Wales have a dragon on their flag?
For attention?
Yeah.
You're making up for attention. It's fun.
Well, like I say, why would the Welsh have a dragon on their flag if it's not real?
Oh, does it have to be real?
Yeah.
Why?
Why not?
Why would the flag have to be real?
No, I'm on about dragons.
Yeah.
Creatures, stuff like that.
The real right.
Yeah. We wouldn't have it on the flag otherwise.
Well, no, I think the flags which aren't that real.
I'd rather a dragon than believe.
Yes. Yeah, it says
Bit windy here.
what's the...
Yes.
What's this all about?
Well, we don't believe we live in a spinning ball.
I'll let Harry get on with this.
But I'd have to question the validity of that. I've flown a lot. I've flown from Paradise. I haven't seen any curvature.
All right.
Now, sorry.
I seem to see it.
Okay, is
But I
there...
don't believe we're round.
See
I
there,
don't believe it's round. I reckon it's...
that's the world's longest photograph.
But
270.
have you seen...
270 miles. Now that distance there should be 3 miles below the curvature there. It's not. It's here. So there is no curvature over that distance. So we're 8 inches per mile squared. So if we see things 20, 30 miles away, say 60 feet high, we should be able to see them. We should be well below the curvature. Proving that we're not on the ball, water in it. When you were 5 years old, you were told that. It was making sense to us. But now, as an adult, because I'm thinking, I'm asking you, how can water be formed from steel at all? How can what? Water be formed from steel at all? No water, it's oceans. Well, if I observe water, it can form any shapes. It's always like flat level.
And can I interject here? You just said.
Well, that's
Can you
what they
prove
say.
that? That's what they tell us. That all your senses now are telling you you're not spinning. But they tell you you're spinning faster than speeding bullet. 1,000 miles an hour.
Now, I think you know something that you may not be aware of. Did you say that you sail?
No.
You've been out on yachts?
No, on a plane.
All right, I thought you said before that you've been on a yacht as well.
above the
You know what it is? I probably just because I just read yacht varnish,
yeah.
and someone said yacht that they'd been sailing. But then what we're asking is that because I've been sailing, and then when I'm out at sea, I can see lighthouses 30, 40 miles away. We're not meant to see that. Meant to be below the curvature, 30, 40 miles.
Well, eating off 30, 40 miles. How From one point of the Earth to
Yeah.
right round, how many miles?
It's 24,900 miles.
Right. So you're not going to.
But-
40 mile away, you're going to see it.
But you'll agree with me, there has to be a mathematical formula that tells you of the curvature drop. There will be a.
Yeah.
That's what we're just giving you.
Oh, right.
So, and you're not meant to see it. Even 15 miles, just 15 miles, there's meant to 40 feet missing. And yet, when I'm stood on, I live over by Torquay Way, and when I'm stood in Brixham, I'm on the beach here, and I get my camera, I can see people on the beach 15 miles away in Exmouth. That's 40 feet that should be hidden curvature. I shouldn't see any of them on the beach, but I can.
Maybe they're 60 feet tall giants.
Whew, I'm not going there. And that's all I'm saying. You know, like, yeah, I mean, like, when you're out at sea, he made a great one before. How do submarines see with their periscopes when that curvature is in the way?
Yeah.
Normal everyday
They see 3 mile.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah, it's
really?
about 3 mile.
Is that what it is?
The telescope. The telescope.
should be a 73 inch strong.
73 inch.
Thank you, fellas.
Yeah, Paul.
Cheers, buddy. It was nice talking to you. Yeah, guys. Do you want a leaflet there? Are you okay? Yeah, pasties are more important. That's okay. No. Just give us a shout if you want one. That's right.
When you leave the dinosaurs, told you that.
Tooth fairy. Got taught that as well.
Did you not?
Do you want to grab a leaflet, guys? Yeah? Excellent. Have you come across this before?
No, we just saw it then going short.
You guys are obviously on the internet, yeah?
Yeah.
You must have heard like of Flat Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, yeah, I did. I mean, like a year and a half ago, yeah, I'd walk straight past and think, oh god, these guys are off the rockers.
That's the.
Yeah, well, no, I totally agree where you're coming from. But when you start examining the evidence, you're going to have a few shocks that are going to really rock
When you're
your.
sat on the front of like a boat, you can see the curvature.
Well, I've got I've been out to sail for for years, and I've never evidenced it. I've never taken a photograph of it.
But isn't it?
And then if I ask you, have you got a photograph in your entire life, even at home? I challenge you to go home and put a rule, put it on Photoshop, scan it in, and then put a rule across, and you probably see that there ain't no curvature.
But isn't it weird how all the other planets, Jupiter, Mars, they're all spherical?
Right, well, okay.
Earth, well, with Earth only be the flat one.
Right. Well, the only time that you've ever seen these so-called planets are probably CGI cartoons from what NASA has given you in textbooks and that. You've never seen.
NASA's at the same time, they've invested billions upon billions.
Oh, and you're right. Yeah, you're so right there. They actually get 53 million a day. NASA do a day. You know, like, but and all I've ever given you is CGI cartoons.
But there's a live.
Do you want me to give you? Do you want me to give you a proof? What I say is worth you watching a video on that website I've just given you. Oh, okay. Just this one point alone.
There's a live feed from the ISS.
It says 24 hours, 7 days a week, doesn't it?
So you can see.
I bet you can't get past an hour. Well, no, I did. I tried.
Fascinating, but
Yeah. But look, this is kind of like my number one proof that blew my mind. Okay, you'll agree. So I'll tell you first, so if you don't know, the Earth is 24,900 miles in circumference. There has to be a mathematical formula to that, you know, for the curvature drop. Yeah, there would be some sort of maths involved. It's actually called Pythagorean's theorem, spherical trigonometry. It means that every 8 inches, I've been saying that wrong. For every mile, there should be an 8-inch drop, okay, for every mile. And this is squared. So it goes 8 inches, 32 inches, 72 inches, and it just gets bigger and bigger and more, this drop. And you can check these figures out yourself later if you're interested. But look, the guy who took this, it went in the Blackpool Gazette. It's 65 miles. He's on the promenade, and he took this picture 65 miles away. 25,000 feet should be hidden. The highest mountain is Snaefell at 2,000 feet. All of that should be hidden. the guy must be a liar or something, you know, like, or he's faked the photograph and all that. But these are the evidence that we see. We shouldn't be seeing the White Cliffs of Dover, but we can. All of that should be gone. The whole of White Cliffs of Dover, you should see a little bit of a few little peaks of about, I think about 30 feet or something, but you can see the lot. This one here is 273 miles away, and you can see all of that land. 3 miles should be hidden. Imagine how big 3 miles is.
But at the same time, for thousands upon thousands of years,
Yeah.
Earth has been spherical, except from when they were only just discovering it.
Do you know who it was? Who was supposedly meant to have discovered it? No, it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, but it was a chap called Eratosthenes. You can check that out. He measured it with some say it was with obelisks, the shadows of obelisks, and the angles. Some say it was sticks and shadows, and it depends on what book you read and that. Some say it was in wells and things. Okay, I challenge you. Okay, this is where the whole idea of the circumference of the Earth comes from. Okay, it all starts from there. I challenge you to find any evidence that this guy is real or ever existed. There's no scrolls, there's no statues, there is no writings, there is nothing. He just appeared from nowhere. I think it was in the 15th, 16th century and all that. But this is where it all comes from.
But at the same time, we've always known that the Earth is spherical and less.
And we take it for granted because you got told 5 years old. Same time, we were laughing there, and it's the same time we believed in Santa, same time we believed in tooth fairies. Until now, right this second now, when did you challenge it and investigate?
It's been all over.
No, I'm talking about you, not anyone else. You. When did you challenge it?
Learning science during school and just general knowledge, because it's the way it is.
I no, because I did exactly the same as with you. I mean, like, I used to tell people and all that. Look, I didn't need to challenge it. It was a given. It just was. You know, like, I went through my school and that, and I just decided, well, we do live on a globe. It must be a globe. It has to be a globe. It was a given. So no, I didn't actually challenge didn't do any experiments. I didn't do any research into it or anything. It was a given. It was never really taught.
Why would they feel the need to lie about that?
Oh, that's a bigger question. But you need yourself first to try and see has there been a lie yet? Get to that bit yet.
We're here. Australia's down here.
That's what they say.
Daytime, nighttime.
Okay.
If it's flat, how is it gonna?
Well, again, you just need a little bit more research on that, but it's all fully explainable. I mean, I can show you if you want to come over and have a quick peek. Go on, give us all 5 minutes, guys. You know, like. So here, can I just push over here for a bit?
They've never done that.
So here, we believe.
What cameras did they have in the
We think. I never know what words to say. Believe, think, know. Okay, we're pretty sure that the sun is a lot smaller and local. We believe that they're about 3,000 miles away. Okay, so in our summer, they actually circle round the north in our summer. And we've got kind of evidence to this because if you go in the north, you can see the 24-hour sun. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of that. You know, like, video evidence, the 24-hour sun. And then in our winter, it starts going further and further and further away. And there should be a 24-hour sun in the south. There should be, because if you've got it in the north, then in our winter, it should be the summer underneath on an axis. But that axis is still a ball, so there still has to be a 24-hour sun somewhere on that axis. Because we're a ball. That's right. Oh, it doesn't actually flip right over. It's meant to just, it does this wobble, doesn't it? That's what they say. That's right. So all I'm saying is that there would be still a 24-hour sun, and NASA claims that they do have a 24-hour sun down in Antarctica. Sorry, science claims this. Okay, so there's meant to be a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. We've never had footage. There is no evidence of this 24-hour sun that would confirm that. I'm going to ask you both one question. How does water cling to the sphere of a ball? Now, great. Yeah, I feel like you've done the same education as me because it's easy. You know, I was told that you passed the exam. Did you get? I don't know what you got in your exams, but you passed. Yeah. Look, That's what we're told, gravity, and we're almost programmed. We regurgitate, we repeat this really quick, gravity. Okay, but did you know it's still called the theory of gravity? Okay, it's called the theory of gravity. Science does not know what it is. It's wizardry. It's Harry Potter wizardry. You can challenge this to yourself. Go and find out exactly what gravity is.
But if you're in an airless chamber,
Vacuumed.
it's float like you do in space.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, there is experiments on there. Brian Cox does do an experiment there, and you don't float. I promise you. You know.
So, say in the ISS,
Okay.
practically float.
Yeah.
Because there's less gravity, they don't obviously come straight back.
No, you were talking about the space before, wasn't you? We know that. But so how can we verify the ISS is up there?
You can kind of see it on a clear night. You can see it.
Well, you see a light which passed.
Like you said, there's a 24-hour.
24 hours, 7 days a week. Right. Okay, that's one little challenge I'll give to you because he's watched a little bit of you. Try and watch it past 1 hour. It says 24 hours, 7 days a week, but try and watch past 1 hour's worth of footage, and you'll find it isn't. It's all fake. That it just repeats itself every kind of hour.
Well, it's not exactly going to change a whole lot, is it?
Well, why repeat? Just give us the footage. I can go. What I'm saying is that you try and download 24 hours what they claim there is, because that'd be great to watch the Earth spin. You know, like why can't they put a camera on the moon and let us watch the Earth spin? That'd be we would all go away tomorrow. We would. That makes sense, doesn't it? Look, we were talking about gravity before. I'll tell you what gravity is. See this? If I drop that, that's density and buoyancy. This is, the molecules in this are heavier than the air around it, and it'll fall down. And the air below it wants to go on top of it, okay? Because it's lighter. And that's just density and buoyancy. That's why helium balloons, when you fill up a helium balloon, guess where it wants to go? Gravity says, oh, I don't want you. The magical force of gravity. The wizardry that we can't prove what it is. And yet I've adequately explained exactly density and buoyancy, but gravity cannot be explained, but we're still willing to believe that. A belief. Just a belief, a theory in gravity.
Gravity. You said like helium.
Yes.
Helium obviously wants to float.
Yeah, okay.
If you use like sulfur hexafluoride, it wants to sink.
Okay, density and buoyancy. It's more dense than the air.
So it's better. So
So you've got this, you know this.
I know.
But you can't explain to anyone in this whole street, and no one else can. Don't worry about it. Even if I had a science professor, they can't tell you what gravity is.
But at the same time, you say like, oh, this we're being lied to.
Yes.
But at the same time, we have as much look of, oh, the Earth is spherical as you do as the Earth.
Oh yeah. Not that. Do you remember what I said before? A year and a half ago, I thought I was crazy. You know, people like me. You know, like I promise you, that's no joke. You know, like so yeah. I know how I might come across and think, oh my God, what's this guy saying to me? You know, like. But I've given you a leaflet. There's a couple of videos, a web address there, and just watch a couple of videos, and it will adequately explain a lot of your. Do you know the word debunk? That's all you got to do is debunk all of this nonsense. That's what I kind of called it, you know, when I first come across it.
One curiosity.
Go.
Completely off the whole subject. Are you into other theories as well, then? Such as
Go on, go for it.
chemtrails?
Oh yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean that's obvious. You see, you should know the difference between a chemtrail and a contrail. A contrail lasts for about 30 seconds. A chemtrail's there for bloody, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 hours. It's there for a long time.
Okay, I can understand where they might spray certain chemicals into the atmosphere, but when you hear the ones where it's like mind control.
Oh yeah.
That's far too.
Because then that's just we're going on people's beliefs, theories, and again, you know, like. But no, an observable fact is something's happening there. We can see something's there. Okay.
Some of the ideas behind it.
Yeah. Well, there is video footage of this chap who was he had an idea to spray as aluminium to combat, was it solar, the ozone layer or something, and the sun came up. So there is evidence of him talking about that, and people have investigated this. They say it's meant to be is it strontium, barium, and aluminium, tons of aluminium that meant to be spraying, and that's odd. The very fact that, I mean, aluminium, I'm very cautious about aluminium. I don't want it anywhere near me, you know, like, because I just if they're spraying it, because it's in all your perspirants, all your deodorant, all your perspirants, it's in everything, and you think you're putting this all over your body, this aluminium that they're spraying on us. So
We're putting on ourselves. And
that's right, we're doing that.
It doesn't affect us.
Well, we don't know. There's lots of people in hospitals at the moment, you know, like there's lots of, a rapid increase of, lots of cancers at the moment. It's hard, isn't it? But like, look, do you believe that your governments are lying to you?
To a degree, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not over this.
No, well, that's right. This is a whole new, different subject. I'm always saying, if they're lying to us, I mean, and they've been caught down with their pants down quite a few times, lying, you know, like to the public and that. If this is the case, maybe like lying to education and science. To what degree?
I say, at the end of the day,
Yes, well, my thing here is I showed you land there as well. I mean, that's observable. That's a fact. That is something that you can test yourself. As I say, if I'm on Brixton Beach, stood there on Brixton Beach, and I film, and I can see Exmouth Beach, and I'm stood there, and I can film. I can see them on Exmouth Beach. That's 15 miles, 40 feet of Earth's curvature should be hidden. So I shouldn't see anybody on that whole beach, but I can. You know, so for me, I want that questioned. You know, why is it that we can see places that we shouldn't be able to see? So many long distance places. But we've never questioned this before because, well, why would you?
It's such a far-fetched idea.
Very far-fetched.
What you're taught in
Yeah.
school and
Yeah.
which is completely fair enough. I mean, if
Yeah.
you believe in it, you believe in it. But at the same time, I just don't see.
No, I could never convince any of you in 5 minutes. I would think that you were both very weak-minded if I convinced you in 5 minutes, and then you go, "Oh yeah, I believe you. Yeah, that's okay. Of course it's fine." No. I'll give you guys so much more respect in that. Just check out the evidence yourself. Try and debunk it. Watch a couple of videos. You know, I kind of respect your opinions far more than you just saying, "Yeah, of course it is. You're right." You know.
Yeah, I say, you know, without obviously solid proof, none of us will
Yeah.
know. Until we get that, then, well, unless...
Your first start is examine for yourself, is gravity a fact? Examine that bit first, and you'll be amazed that they haven't got a clue what it is. It's a big one because I was always taught at school that it is a fact and that's it. It's done. It is.
Earth's atmosphere, points...
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the figures off by heart. But look, I mean, you just mentioned the atmosphere. How does our atmosphere not leak into the vacuum? And you know what a vacuum is? The vacuum of space. Our whole atmosphere, there's no barrier, no separation, that's what they say. So how does our vacuum, how does that vacuum not pull all the air right out of this planet right now? That vacuum of space. It's so strong, it's stronger than any vacuum on Earth. And yet...
We're constantly, we're constantly producing things. And yeah, there isn't a whole lot. I can see where you're coming from. I can't see where you're coming from. So
you start researching it a little bit more, and it'll blow your mind. It really will. You'll be thinking, well, that's got a point. That's got a point. Oh my God, that's got a point. And you'll get to the end of a few videos, and then you'll have to either leave it alone, walk away, and or want more. Two things will happen, and you know, because it's hard. You're going to be so surprised. I can see that you're open-minded.
everything. Gotta go into something with an open mind.
No, well, I wasn't. So I tell you what, if the roles were reversed and that, you know, like I'd just call you nutter, walk away. And I wasn't open-minded. I come across this by myself in my own time without any pressures or anything. And you guys, I have so much respect for people like you that give someone like me some time. You know, like yeah.
At the end of the day, without obviously hard evidence, none of us are going to know. So I can see where you're coming from, but at the same time, after 20 years of knowing something, it's not really going to be like
good. It shouldn't be, shouldn't be. Make sure you watch some videos. Look, guys, it's really good talking to you. Let me shake yours out, and really good talking to you guys. Well, the thing is, this isn't just chit chat. This is deep and meaningful talk, and it's very rare that we have a deep and meaningful talk. We just kind of say little bits of chit chat, and there you go. Cheers, guys. Oh, did you get a leaflet? Oh, we give you a card. You're okay. Excellent. Well, that was a great conversation. I'm always impressed when you've got some really, some open-minded, chaps, girls, guys. I was so far away from that. I was not open-minded, really not. I found all of this out on my own after that horrible Dave Murphy led me to this. Yes, horrible man. It could have had a closed life, an indoctrinated life. Life would be so much simpler. No, but I wouldn't give it up any. So, there you go. All right. Kind of weird. Let's see if I can give you guys a leaflet? There you go. Would you like a leaflet? No, you okay? Oh, that's all right. It might get a bit busier now. It seems to be home time from school. Well, that's I can't go over here. Apparently, I lose connection when I go too close to the other side of the shops. Oh. Yeah, so I'll just let you know, we set up earlier on, but we set up the banners in a private area which was really busy. There's like T-Max there and Costa and Argos was there, so it's a really busy area. The second I put the banners down, the security swooped over and told us to get lost. So we had to find a new spot. And we found a spot here. It's quite windy here, but you can see, it's all acting as a big sail, this. But we've tied it all down. So this is my this is a disco stand with a light and gantry, and then there is an extension to that light in gantry. So if you do want any banners and all that, they're pretty cheap. I think you pick the gantries up for about £50–60, but I used to do mobile DJing, so I had one spare in the shed. There we go. You all right, Harry?
Yeah.
So you had a few good chats?
Yeah, a couple of people are really open-minded to it.
Yeah.
The lady there was saying that I've seen you on Facebook for your display. 27,000 views. I can't remember where we were last time. Where were we?
Plymouth?
Saying they were going to be here today, so that's why she came along.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
Well, it's nice to be sleepy time. People are stopping, people are engaging.
Yeah.
Steady stream. How are you finding it so far?
I just had a great chat with two young, open-minded guys.
I noticed they were actually laughing quite hysterically.
They started laughing. Yeah, you're quite right.
Past originally, but then they came back.
Yeah.
And then they went back and laughed a little more, and came back third time and
Yeah.
started engaging.
Well, I'm pretty sure that they will be looking at a video. Did you get a leaflet? Would you like one? There you go.
Thanks.
That's all right.
Disappointed.
That's gone a bit busier, isn't it? But not a lot of people are stopping, but So, do you know where we're going tomorrow? Oh, let's see if he knows. I'll put him on the spot.
Somewhere between Penzance and
Yeah, somewhere between. I believe it's I think we're off to Truro tomorrow.
True.
Yeah. Is it Truro or is it Thurso?
Very similar.
Truro.
Oh, she
Cheers. Yeah.
does like skittles and bites.
Right. You're right. Oh.
Yeah, she'd always. What was she? It's a criminal act. It's but that's against so much money.
Have you heard about who Tommy Robinson?
Yes.
Yes. Stuff like this is stuff that he's trying to like, well, not exactly this, but you know what I mean? He's trying to prove that the government lies to us.
Yeah, I think more and more people are becoming some questions what people tell them.
Oh, they did when he's got arrested, I'll tell you. It's super
Yeah.
Those like literally like up to London.
So just letting you know, guys, we'll do a hangout tonight. We're going to try and park in a supermarket and see the reactions of people looking at our stickered up camper van. So we'll see how that goes later on.
Unfortunately, our minds are brainwashed at 4 years old. We didn't think, well, you live this thing all
I don't think that but I think what's the word? No, like spirit of it. Like, you know, like
Yes,
Santa was meant to be happy and like, yeah, happy and exactly. Christmas isn't just about like.
Why did you spend on one day?
Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to do a Christmas cafe like that all the year. And then you see that, you know. Yeah, exactly. Around Christmas, people are definitely the most nicest. There's so many nice people like helping out that carrying something at the top of
Not very engaging, say Austell, which is when you've seen how busy it was in Plymouth yesterday. Plymouth was really successful, but that's okay. We get our slow days and really busy days. There's no editing here; it's all live. If you've got any questions, I'll be glad to answer them to you. Of course I can. Of course I can. Are you okay with my camera? Are you okay? You're okay. Okay. On that leaflet. Oh, let's have a look. On this leaflet, okay. So the Earth is meant to be 24,000 miles in circumference, going right the way around. Okay, so there has to be a curvature, okay, of the Earth. Okay, so there has to be a mathematical formula to that curvature. They call it Pythagoras theorem, and it's spherical trigonometry. Okay, so it means that for every mile, it's meant to drop at 8 inches per squared mile. 8 inches, and then 32 inches, and then 72 inches. But see that picture there at the top? That's Blackpool Promenade, okay, and the distance to that is 65 miles. It was put in the Blackpool Gazette. So the highest mountain is 2,000 feet, but 2,500 feet should be hidden. So you shouldn't be seeing any of that land. And the same for Calais and Dover. You shouldn't be seeing any land. You shouldn't be able to see, was it Calais? The White Cliffs of Dover from Calais, but you can. You can, and you're not meant to. It's meant to be over the curvature. Well, the bottom one there, that's 273 miles. That's 3 miles should be hidden. Can you imagine how big 3 miles high is? Yes. So that should be, all that land should be hidden over the curvature, but they're still taking photographs. Now, I'm a sailor, like I've been out, to sea and that, and overnight, when you go out overnight, you can see these lighthouses about 30, 40 miles away, like little flashes, in the distance and that, and they do so many flashes, and you can tell where they are on, on your maps. And if I'm on my boat, about 2-3 foot off, I shouldn't be able to see any of this. Lighthouses shouldn't really work, like for sailors and that, for navigation. Not really. So what we're saying is that we shouldn't be able to see land over the curvature, but we can. We've been asking people what they know of if they can remember back, like yourself, at your education, when it comes to water conforming to a sphere of a ball. We're meant to be on a ball. So how does that water stick to that ball? Right, Dwayne wrote round, he knows, but he's not. You're going to tell me? Go on. How does water hold, all the seas and all the oceans hold to the earth upside down? Excellent. See, I knew he knew. But the thing is, what we've found out, we've decided that the governments are not telling us the truth on lots of things, and science and education is run by the governments. Okay, so gravity is a theory. It's wizardry. Science doesn't even know what it is. If you ask science and that, they kind of say, well, we can describe something, we can show you something, but we don't know what it is. It's Harry Potter magic. And so what they're saying is that this is being pulled down. If I drop it, it's being pulled down by this magic, Harry Potter for gravity, magic being pulled down, but there's no proof. They can't prove it's being, and yet I can tell you adequately what it is. It's just density and buoyancy. The molecules in this are heavier than the air around it, and it falls down. That's all it is. And they're trying to overcomplicate it, and it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. So we're saying that land could go on forever. We don't know. There is a Antarctic treaty, okay, that stops you going to Antarctica. And so we're saying that we are living on a flat Earth and not a sphere. And the only other evidence that we have that we live on a sphere is maybe NASA giving you photographs. But we've had these forensically examined, and when you get these examined, you see lots of noise that is right. I don't know if you know a little bit about photography, but you see noise in the wrong places and that, and they've been proven to be fake. A lot of these pictures. There's a guy over there on the left there. His name's Robert Simmons, and he's on a radio interview, and he did some work for NASA, and he says in this radio interview that he makes pictures of the globe as photographs, and he just takes high altitude photographs, he stitches them all together. They're called composites. He stitches them all together, they wrap them around this 3D blank sphere, and then he adds layers, like clouds and things and that, pollution and things, and then presents them to us as, there's your photographs from space. There's even videos. I mean, now you'll remember, and I'm going to ask you a question. Do you believe in the moon landings? That we went to the moon? Because I did. I was a big Star Trek fan as well. I believed all of this, and because I didn't have any evidence to say otherwise. Well, they brought out some moon rock and they presented it to the Dutch government, okay, and it turned out to be petrified wood. And that's in their newspapers and all. They went up the wall over it, they're really upset over it. Anyway, so I expect you probably haven't seen all of this, but he might be able to verify it a little bit. I'm hoping you might. There's lots of evidence of waving flags on the moon. Have you seen it when they're putting away? You've seen that as well. Waving flags. Not meant to have waving flags. Okay. There's shadows all in the wrong places. There's different shadows. They only had the light of they had no other lights. There's evidence of noise, sound being heard, and you're not meant to hear anything. So they get a cable and they throw it on to the LEM. That's what it was called, the LEM, and you hear it go doing, and you're not meant to hear anything. It's meant to be the vacuum of space. When it landed, this LEM, there's no blast crater underneath. It was meant to be like soft moon rock that should have kicked up loads of dust in the atmosphere. I just said the atmosphere. There's no atmosphere, but anyway, it should have kicked up loads of dust in that. And yet there's no blast crater. There's not even any dust on the feet. Nothing. So there's lots of questions to be asked. So we're saying, and we're suggesting to people that you have never seen a photograph of Earth. So if we've never seen a photograph of Earth, Gravity is a magic trick. Where's our evidence that we live on a... and we were taught this when we believed in Santa Claus. So where's our evidence? Because I went through my entire adult life believing all this and I never examined any of it. Never. And it's only recently, I only started examining it last year. And then after examining it, and he's going to watch a video because you look as though that you're interested enough to watch a video, yeah? Good. Watch a video and then go back. Is this mum and nan? Yeah, very good. So yeah, tell mum and dad, nan later and say, you know what, this guy's got a point. But watch this video first, because that would be, I mean, we should be allowed to question things, shouldn't we? So, and all I'm suggesting to you is for you to watch some videos, question it yourself. Do you know the word debunk? Debunk. Do you know that word? So, well, good, because you're in my. I didn't know what it was. It just means to prove something wrong, sort of thing. So go through all the evidence and that. Try and do a bit of research yourself, and then prove it all wrong. And that's what we're asking people. So you got a web address there for the video. Did I give you one? Sorry.
Yes, you did.
I did give you one. You got one. Yeah, I forget so quick.
Thank you for telling
Yeah, that's all right. If you've got any more questions, give us a shout. All right. You all right? Do you want a leaflet there?
No, I don't.
You don't?
This is baffling me.
It baffled me when I first come across it. I thought it was bloody nonsense. Absolutely baffling.
What, are you part of this?
Oh yeah.
So,
I am now after doing my research.
is the sun round?
When I look up there, I see a circle. Yes. Is it a sphere?
Is the sun a sphere?
I don't know that bit.
Right. Is Mars a sphere?
I see a blob in my telescope, a blob,
Right.
and I see it making funny colours, and I see it dancing like to frequency. Saturn. I do see some sort of rings and that. I don't really see it move or anything.
Explain the moon.
Oh God! In what way? Explain.
So basically,
Are you trying to create some sort of logic between, because there's round sort of planets that you know of, that we should be round as well? Is that the logic? What you're trying to do?
explain this.
Go on.
Right. You're telling me. Right. Look at this over here.
Go ahead.
So you're saying, yeah, this is the Earth, right?
Okay. I mean that's an official air map from America uses.
Yeah. It's
official.
aeronautical map.
That's right. They've been using it for adequately flying all over the world on a flat map.
Sure.
That's flat. You do realise that's flat?
You cannot honestly believe the Earth is flat.
Oh, I do. Because of that. Do you see this bit here? Have you got questions? Sorry.
I've got to walk away.
All right. All right. No, you have to. I can't change your mind in 5 minutes. No. We've all had long time for our education and that. It's really nice to.
education goes back to
I would say so. It was nice talking to you. Cheers then. A shield. I just heard that word.
What shape is the Earth? If the Earth, Ask my question.
So where's the sun go?
Perspective. It goes out of our perspective.
Jesus Christ, the moon doesn't move that way or that way.
Sorry, it doesn't. We only see. You realise we only ever see one side of the moon. Okay, tell me what gravity is. That's physics.
No.
Hey,
Gravity creates a ball of water.
you're taught this. Okay, I agree. How can you evidence this?
Have you ever been to a fun fair?
No. Centrifugal force. So when water's on, water goes out. It's not pulled in. That's centrifugal. You just said that you know physics. Centrifugal force goes out, spins out, and it's contained. It's contained by the metal. Centrifugal.
The difference is a bit naive.
Right.
To be honest. And so
So-
I'm asking you, the Earth is round. What shape is it?
It's not completely
No,
round, it's slightly squashed.
So don't answer my question with a question.
And it's by 29 miles, and it's not really, is it?
It's correct, you can. However, asking
Did we?
you a question isn't going to help me come to
When?
realisation of
Who?
what the truth or fact is.
You were just talking about gravity a second ago, but what I'm saying is that science doesn't even know what gravity is. There is no experiment to prove that you're being pulled to the ground, and yet all these oceans are being pulled to the centre.
It's like saying I'm telling you to calm down when they're mad.
It's not how you've got a sticker on there with research flash.
Oh, that's just kind of like.
If the Earth isn't round,
In what way?
So you've got cognitive bias.
Well, I don't really
You've got complete cognitive bias towards this. All the science and everything is out about this.
Yeah.
But you've got
Can
cognitive
I-
bias because you believe in it so deeply.
No, I have
Yes,
facts.
you do.
I have facts, but you have a belief in science, which is a
You
religion.
have a belief in it, which
Really?
is a religion.
Really?
How is this not?
Of course it is.
How is what
You
you're not
believe
doing?
you
How is-
believe with stuff without investigation, and you have to have faith that they're telling you the truth. That's a religion. You have to have faith.
What you're not doing is religion.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
handing
Well,
out- you're handing out.
Oh, can we bring it down a bit? Because yeah, okay. I'm trying to be really calm and nice to you. Right. Okay. Okay. We let me have a point. Right. Okay. We shouldn't be able to see all this land that we can see. That's 65 miles away. Well, if the Earth is 24,900 miles in circumference, there has to be a mathematical formula that says the curvature. Yeah. Okay. That is based on Pythagoras' theorem, spherical trigonometry. It's meant to, for every mile, it's meant to drop at 8 inches per squared mile. Then it goes to 32 inches, then it goes to 72 inches. But that's Blackpool at 65 miles away on the Brock Promenade on a good clear day. This was put in the Blackpool Gazette. You can see the Isle of Man. The highest peak is 2,000. The highest peak is 2,000 feet. 2,500 feet should be hidden.
But that's about perspective, isn't it?
Wait, is it? This
Of course it is,
This is the world's longest distance photograph, 273 miles, and yet you can still see land. 3 miles should be hidden. 3 miles high should be hidden below the curvature, but you can still see land. So when you're talking about,
You've told me I didn't. Of the Earth,
sorry,
how do you explain the curvature of the Earth?
what curvature? It's not been evidenced anywhere.
It's not been evidenced.
Okay, do you have a photograph of the curvature? So, in what way?
What is the stratosphere? Just explain the stratosphere.
I mean, is this a science education?
It's a simple question. Explain the stratosphere.
Why? I don't understand. It has no bearing on flat Earth.
Explain the troposphere. Does it exist?
Well, yeah, it does. There's the troposphere, there's the stratosphere, and there's the thermosphere. Yeah, why wouldn't they?
Right, if they all exist, yeah, how high are they? How high are they?
Let's go back to that. So 30 miles, 56 miles.
All of those things, they exist in a cylinder.
I don't know. In a cylinder? What cylinder?
You're saying the Earth is flat, then obviously all of those things, they must exist.
No,
in a
no,
cylinder.
you're assuming things. I've never said that.
Well, yeah, but you're
But
saying,
I have never said that. You're assuming
right,
that.
you're
So would you
saying
like to
Earth is
listen to what I say?
flat. Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're
Flat,
saying
and
the
it
Earth
could
is
be
flat.
infinite, and it could go on forever. You believe space is infinite, do you? Is space infinite?
Space, it's already been proven that space is infinite.
Who
Space does
proved
have
that? Who proved that? No, I'm asking you. You're
That's
believing.
just one of my photos. Yeah, I know. 43,000 foot. I can see the curvature there.
Right, okay.
There's a curvature.
Well, I'm looking. That was very quick. Okay. Excuse me. Calm down. You're getting upset. You're getting upset. Whoa. If we all come down, you're getting upset. You're getting upset. I will. Okay. What are we pointing to?
Shining.
Excuse me. What is this? You almost want to fight defending the globe. I don't want to fight defending flat Earth. Come on, guys.
What is that?
Okay.
Please answer.
So
What is it? Just say it's the moon.
I've seen
What is the moon?
I have seen the moon.
is a satellite. Bit of
I have
rock.
seen the moon.
I know, but
I've seen the moon plenty of times.
Yeah, it's true.
And you're getting upset defending your ball, your precious ball. It's just a ball. Yeah, it's no. You're a flat earther. You just don't know it yet. That's the difference.
Jedi mind tricks.
But look, guys, is this worth something getting argumentative and upset over? Is it?
I was in the military for 5 years.
Right. Excellent. Well, let's just have a discussion about it then.
Let's have a discussion because
Well, no. So you just want to bark then?
it's not about barking.
Okay. Well, let's hear this.
In the military, right?
Yes.
Do you honestly believe that I would know if the Earth is flat?
In the military. Well, did you at some point Oh God! Did you fire sniper rifles or anything? You did. So did you take the Coriolis effect?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
Excellent. So why don't play?
Everything comes into
Excuse me.
play.
Can I just can I counter that?
No,
You, please, please. No. I'm not doing this to you. Please. That's everybody's got a space, okay? Look. Planes go much slower. Planes go much slower than a speeding bullet that requires what's it?
Right, let's go like a, I don't know, say an SA80, an LA85A1.
Yes.
Right, the round that comes out of that is a 5.56 round. Comes out of the barrel around about, say, I don't know, say 9 to 1500 miles an hour.
Okay.
Right? So depending on how long the barrel is, I know you've got everything comes into play. Then the humidity, the curvature of the earth,
So
Coriolis effect,
Okay.
spinning, gravity, everything comes into play. Yeah. So basically, if I'm taking that shot, say 1500 yards,
you aim to miss just a slight because that you got to take in account the rotation of the earth. That's the correct. Yeah, it's right. Everything else. Oh yeah, I accept that. Yeah, I accept all that. Yeah, of course.
So basically, you aim off.
So okay, I'll accept that. I've not done it myself, but I'll accept that you're telling the
For
truth.
example, yeah. To
Okay.
take that shot, you need to aim off slightly for the curvature of the earth, so that round is going to place.
Excellent. Right, I accept all that. Okay.
And the old reason.
But if that is real, if it is real, when planes are landing at such a slower speed, then that curve, that earth underneath must rotate more than your speeding bullet. It must rotate more because your speeding bullet is faster. Do you understand what I'm
explain the
saying?
landing plane things. I didn't quite get that.
Okay, so basically, if Earth is spinning below us, and the plane is trying to land here, but the Earth is spinning below. He just said that they take into account with a speed and bullet. You just said that you've done some physics and that. Come on, guy, you must be able to.
I'm trying to say it simple.
Right, okay. If you must accept it for snipers with a bullet, you have to acknowledge it for an aeroplane.
What we
You have to.
What we accepted.
The Coriolis effect.
Yeah, Coriolis effect. I think the most important thing to accept about is the fact that you actually completely believe that this is a conspiracy.
No.
Well, so how is this?
No. They call this a conspiracy theory. We know this as fact.
Yeah, but it's not a fact.
Well, it is because I can see land that I shouldn't be able to see.
In your opinion.
Well, no. You can test this for yourself.
Yeah, but you could say that equally for people that believe.
Okay, I stand at Brixham. Okay, when I'm, oh sorry. Yeah, sorry. But this is what always happens. Sorry.
It comes out of a rifle.
Okay.
How do you think it comes out?
Okay. There's certain things I don't know, but I imagine it's something to do with gunpowder exploding.
The trajectory of a round. How do you think it comes out? Do you think it goes dead straight?
Well, it rotates through a spiral or something.
It doesn't. It has an
Oh,
arc.
it has a spin. Okay, it does have a spin. It has an arc due to density and buoyancy being pulled down.
It comes out of the rifle in an arc.
Okay. I don't know that. I'll accept that.
You don't like aim at something straightforward.
Right. But we were talking about the Coriolis effect, the fact that Earth is spinning below it, and that's what he just said.
It's the curvature of the earth. It's not. It's a spin of the earth.
It's the spin of the Earth. Well, and then that would depend on whether we're north, west, south, or wherever we are on the spin, wouldn't it? You would have to change. You would have to change your trajectory.
Everything you're trying to argue here.
I don't think you've thought about the Coriolis effect. Say what? Say that again. Do you believe in dragons? Do you? Because I used to. I mean, when I was 5, I believed in Santa and the Tooth Fairy. I just don't now. You know. Well, he was talking about dragons, so. Yeah, but see, I've got evidence to prove that, but you don't have evidence that you live on a ball. Where's the evidence?
But your evidence that is collected by you.
I've got lots of more, but I've not been able to say.
So how come this is a
vast ocean?
Here we go.
1,000 mile an hour spinning ball. 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's how fast you're spinning right now.
No, it's spinning 25,000 miles an hour.
Really? So that we have 1 day per hour? Do we have 1 day per hour? So are you going to back up that claim, Mr. Physics? Please, Mr. Physics, can you back up that claim?
I'm not.
Well,
I can't.
See, and that's the problem, isn't it? Because you don't want to say anything because you know he just made a complete error there. The Earth spins at 1,000 miles per hour over a 24-hour period. That's what you're
I feel
taught.
sorry for your family, and I feel sorry
Thank
for
you. Thank you for engaging, and thank you for being truthful when he just made a big error, Mr. Physics. But look, that's okay. It was only a small error. That's okay. I've made errors like that, but it's okay. I know, and it comes. Oh no, because there's lots more evidence. I know this. I know this through the bottom of my heart. As I say, when I'm on, Brixton Beach, and I can see Exmouth Beach, I can zoom in. I can see these people. There is a mathematical formula for the curvature of the Earth, but you can see all of this land. Even like yachts that are 30, 40 miles an hour. That's it. That's programming. You know, like I was programmed that same way to think that ships fall off the Earth.
You're not answering the question.
Explain.
You're just saying the program.
Okay.
Explain it. What happens when you get to the end of the Earth?
I've never been to the end of the Earth. Okay. And we were. I did actually. Say before? We're expected to believe that space is infinite, but why can't land be infinite? We've never said that there's an edge. You were saying there's an edge. I've never said that.
Are you saying there's no edge?
I don't know. I've never been. I'm just saying that.
At the end of the day, how can you have a solid argument? If you don't know
Because
yourself?
I can see that land that you shouldn't be able to see.
Right. So if you're going from one end of the Earth, to the other end of the Earth, so they continent to continent.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. What happens at the end?
Okay. So I'm going to circumnavigate you now. I don't think you're a ball. I've just went round all the continents.
Is that what happens?
And that's what happens. We just go east to west and we go around the continents. So if you're north, you're right in the centre.
The pilot goes, oh fuck it, we'll just go all the way around and then we'll go that way to get to the
Okay,
destination.
well let's look at pilots then. Well, you brought aeroplanes up, okay? So if this aeroplane is going around a ball, okay, it works off an artificial horizon, okay, and it flies level to that artificial horizon. Yeah, yes. Would that be yes? I mean, they have an artificial horizon. Aeroplanes do. Okay. Oh, are you okay? Yeah, they can't. You can't. Every time I've asked this question, have you got any evidence to back this up? And I can almost guarantee you that you don't have any evidence. Well, I know you say this, but there is no evidence. You can't find photographs of it. You can't find.
You can.
Really?
Perfect
Really?
one of the Earthrise taken by the lunar landings when they did that, or did they not happen?
Okay.
Are you another one that thinks that doesn't happen? Can you not video?
Oh, sorry. I won't then. I'll put it on me. Can I? If you answer that one, would you allow me 2 minutes to answer that one? Okay. So Earth. This is on me, by the way. I don't know if you can see. Earthrise. Okay. When we look at the moon. Okay, we look at the moon and we only see one side of the moon, and the Apollo landings, all the Apollo landings, landed on this side of the moon.
Yeah, but they also went
Now, can I say?
all the way around it.
You just said that we seen Earthrise. It was that picture was taken, okay, from the moon. Okay, so in order to see that, Earth is upwards. How could they see Earthrise? How could you see all the horizon? That picture is so fake. And when you, see now you've all just glossed over that. Have you not understood that?
Because I love a good
Earth is up in the sky. Earth is up in the sky. That's what I'm saying. Earth is in the sky. There is no horizon, and yet people think that Earthrise. Right.
You say there's no satellites.
Oh, it's E. Lauren. I mean, like all your mobile phones. So this is all on me still. And this mobile phone, the data in this goes to the tower. It's just a cell tower. That's all it goes to. Yes. I've never said there isn't. It goes to cell towers. They always do. I mean, E. Lauren, enhanced Lauren, and it's just all to do with triangulation. They've been doing it since the 40s. Enhanced Lauren. Is that because I've got an answer for everything?
No, you've not got an answer.
Was that not an answer? You just mentioned the moon, and I just given you.
Again, I mean, I'm not saying we're a perfect round because we're not.
Okay.
We're more of like a sphere shape. And the reason why
I was programmed to say that as well.
And the spin of
Gravity is a theory. It's a theory.
How do you stay on the planet then? For example, when you go to the moon, you bounce around because you're not
We never
held down.
went to the moon. We didn't. Honestly, we didn't.
I'll let you believe
Well,
mine.
okay, that's fine.
I'll believe mine.
Yeah.
Maybe I can say something.
Of course you can. Are you okay on? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I took it off because she was a little bit upset.
Maybe I can say something.
Go ahead.
Answer all the questions.
Yeah.
Everything around us including space and time,
Yeah.
it's all an illusion.
Well,
Not here.
it's too deep that for me.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
I know, but I've already had these experiences.
I've actually come across other people who've said the same thing.
So
It's
we're not even here.
it's far too deep for me though.
We're already somewhere else.
Okay.
And we could be writing our own story.
Yeah. I've heard this before. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the truth of it, as I know it.
Okay.
Right? I can't express it enough
Yeah.
because of the out-of-body experiences that I've had.
Yeah.
I was given a lot of information.
Yeah.
When I come back, I didn't want to come back.
Yeah.
But they said, God said, you need you to.
Right.
Let people know.
Yeah.
So I let people know.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh. Yeah.
But everything is an illusion.
Yeah.
Right? We're not really here.
Yeah.
So if people like that get,
Yeah.
if you throw that at them,
Yeah.
right, that'll shut them up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'll keep that in mind. Cheers, buddy.
Correct, I am, but that's because, like,
Oh gosh. That was
taking pictures of the Earth from close and from
that was a little stressful, wasn't it? Eh? So I had quite a few. Very triggered people. I try to calm people down when they're getting so triggered, and so that we can have a proper, meaningful talk. But some people are angry, like just because I have this difference of opinion, and they're so angry. It's not all the time. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say. I mean, like that lady just then, she just said about Earthrise, and like I don't think they've really thought about it. I mean, like the Earthrise picture was never possible. Like you would always have to point your camera right up into the sky. Yeah, and I think it was it Rob Skiba? Rob Skiba, he did that photoshopping and messed around with the histogram, I think it was, and changed all the levels, and you could see that Earth was pasted in place. So you've all seen that video, I imagine. If you haven't, that's something you have to check out. Just calm down a little bit. It's 4 o'clock. The rain has stayed off, which is amazing. I'm still in a t-shirt here, so it's actually quite warm considering it's very windy. Now Harry there has had a cracking conversation, I would say. I think it was started off.
research this guy, and then potentially if I have time tomorrow, I'll try and pop a short.
Yeah.
And that way I'll at least have a chance to.
Yeah.
But like, you base evidence out there, and if you say, so actually, rather than just taking it on face value, I mean, I can't guarantee.
So look out and check this video. I'll give you a leaflet there. Are you all right? Have you got any questions? Just here.
But there's also a guy who works for NASA that's been to space. He took a picture of it, and his name was Dr. Tim, who's English. He's come back and said the Earth is good. And he's seen it with his own eyes. Now, unless he didn't go to space, he would have been lied to when he was put in a cabin somewhere. He said, the man over here is nothing. Yeah.
See, I don't believe that they go to space, but it's okay. See, I mean, I don't believe that we went to the moon.
Yeah, didn't they lose all that footage?
Right, lost all the footage, all the telemetry data, all of it's got. Are you okay, actually? So I'm walking around with this. Yeah, so they lost all the telemetry data. You've seen the shadows in the wrong places, and no blast crater.
Watch the video of it.
So if this is NASA telling us lies, and our government is like, and science and education, what we're saying is that what can we believe these days? So we're challenging our education now. That's what we were 5 years old. We were presented this globe at 5 years of age. Until right now, this second now, did you ever examine it and investigate it? We just take it. It's a given. It's a given. And so what we're appealing to people and saying, like, in that leaflet there is a website, watch a couple of videos, and then do a little bit of research. Just you don't have to spend too long. Do a little bit of research and examine it from a stance of that you're aliens, you've just arrived on Earth, and you want to know.
I think very recently which
Right.
It was just about basically like all this footage being lost and the fact that
That's ridiculous. All lost. Come on. Because we're not talking about a couple of USB sticks. We're talking about, what was it, like 30,000 reels or something went missing. Ridiculous. You know, like, have you watched the film A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon? When you get, it was a YouTube thing, you know, like, I think it was done for the BBC and all that, but it is on YouTube. Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. I might actually put it on there's a website in there. I'll probably put it on there. I keep forgetting. Yeah, watch that one, because they show the real footage that they were actually in low Earth orbit when they were speaking to everyone, saying, you know, one small step and all that business. They weren't on the moon, they were in low Earth orbit. So that's a good film to watch. A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. And I say there was no blast crater. There was, you know, if I sit here and think hard enough, I could probably come up with 100 reasons why we didn't go to the moon. Like Van Allen belt. I don't know if you heard of that one. There's this big radiative belt that goes around the Earth. What they're saying, okay? That's what they say. I mean, I don't believe this for a second, but like they say that's there. And if that's there, then they say now that we need better technology to go there. We can't get to the moon. We can't get past this Van Allen belt, but they adequately got past it last time. And then there is so,
Right in the pussy.
I didn't. What did he say? Can you repeat, please? I didn't get that. What did he say? Oh, is that what it was? Right. Okay. Do you know them? All right. Well, that was a bit bad then, wasn't it? Yeah. So yeah, we're asking people to re-examine their education. Okay. We were told that you live on this globe at the age of 5, and we're saying that water is meant to go right around the whole Earth, okay? Water, this is the sea, the oceans. We've got it written down there, 71% of Earth is water. It's right around the whole Earth, okay? How is it sticking to the underside of the ball? Now, I know you've got the answer because we were all indoctrinated the same. So what's the answer? Gravity. Okay, so was you ever taught that it's the theory of gravity? It's a theory, okay? Was you ever taught that they don't understand what gravity is? There's no proof. No, see, I wasn't taught that. I was taught it was just a fact. It's gravity, okay? So gravity, okay, is meant to be a pulling force that's pulling everyone down, and it attracts masses to masses. You know, like, okay. So that's what we're taught. It's Newton discovered this, okay? So Isaac Newton, and all of this has been pulled down, okay? But they don't understand what it is. They don't know what, you know, is it the core? Is it a magnet? Is it a super weapon inside? It's Harry Potter wizardry. They haven't got a clue what it is. And yet I can give you an adequate answer to what it is, but science can't. That is heavier than the air around. The molecules in here are heavier than the air. So when I let go, it falls down below the air. The air goes on top. Buoyancy, density and buoyancy. It adequately explains what we perceive to be gravity, and yet if I ask any science major, you know, like physics professional, like, he cannot tell you what gravity is, but I just did. You know, like,
what's the theory that said that the Earth is flat and that around the edges is like massive ice walls?
well, there you go. So we all agree that water has to be contained. If you put water in a cup, it's in a cup. If you put you see it flat and it's level, you put it in a bath, it's flat, it's level, it's contained. And even in a lake, it's flat, it's level, it's still got to be contained. So we agree water has to be contained. Okay, but yet we suspend that belief that water doesn't have to be contained. It can go over the whole globe. Okay, so you just mentioned the ice walls or something. Okay, I would suggest that there probably is. I've seen photographs of 200-foot ice walls. Okay, I don't claim that they're right round the whole Earth. They may be beaches as well. You know how a beach works. The water doesn't. We're not getting wet here today. The water hasn't come all the way up and over and all that. You know, like it's still contained. That's what beaches do. You know, like, so I would say that there is probably 200-foot ice walls, but there's probably beaches as well. You know, and we don't know if there is an edge. We haven't got a clue if there's an edge. No one's ever been there. There is an Antarctic treaty set in place that tells you you're not allowed to go there. Let's say you've got a yacht tomorrow and you go, I'm going to go to Antarctica by myself. You'll be arrested and thrown in prison. You're not allowed to go. 53 countries signed up to this Antarctic treaty. You know, like, and so you got to sign off. You know, like, from the 53 countries. It'll cost you, and then you'll be escorted around the coastline or something. That's right. level, it's a bit weird. Of all the wars that we've been fighting over, all the different countries, you know, like, and yet this is one thing that they've always agreed on, and it still stands today. It's so it sounds like you're already pretty open-minded anyway. Yeah, as I say, there's a website there. It's FE Start. It's called. If you go to that, there's some a load of videos in there. You watch them videos. All right. Nice talking to you. Cheers. Oh. Well, you do get some interesting people as well that are open-minded. Look at that. Another great conversation. Yeah, so
If you were filming it, we could go back on it.
I think Harry's still having his
Tiny compared to, yeah, that's fine. But a hamster's penis is tiny compared to me, but it's massive compared to no body.
There you go.
Well, I mean, yeah, definitely. But we all like this just.
I don't think we're going to be live much longer. My arm is aching. Oh, give us a break, guys. I've got to put this down soon. Because I did have a DJI Go, which I'd still have to hold, but it was a little bit easier. But it's broke. It's not working. So.
Correct. So how come people here claim when it's night time they can't see
I don't think the room houses an atmosphere, does it?
What's the atmosphere got to do with the?
You don't think that would limit your eyesight? Or?
Well, how does the atmosphere work on a flat Earth? Because I understand how it works on the round Earth, but I don't understand how it works on a flat Earth. Do you have to explain the atmosphere to me on a flat Earth? Because I don't understand it on a flat Earth. I'm not going to lie. So you have to explain that one to me.
So what do you mean? How does it work?
Well, I understand on a globe how the atmosphere works around the globe, right? How it I understand rock, not massive illustrated.
So why
I couldn't
could that,
explain it to you.
Why could that not work around a flat plate?
Well, no, but where is the atmosphere going to? Because this is what I'm trying to get at. I don't understand what your point of view is on that one. So you're saying that the atmosphere, but how does the atmosphere? So if I have a circular Earth, the atmosphere sits around the globe, right? Yeah. That's what I'm getting. But if it's a flat Earth,
But we're not suggesting there's an edge or anything. So
not suggesting there's an edge.
We're not suggesting that because, sorry, we're not suggesting that there is an edge. It could go on for infinite or what. We don't know. We've not been.
Right.
We're not suggesting that.
But the explorers of the British Navy, who during the 1900s, 1800s, when they were going around, and the travellers of the 1600s, like Christopher Columbus, who pretty much ventured as far as he could possibly venture, suggest that there is a end.
Did you hear about Captain Cook?
And
what, the one who went to Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
But he also
and also 3 weeks before the Dutch that were there before him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he also wrote in his journals, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but his journals where he claimed he sailed around a 200-foot ice wall for 67,000 miles, could not find an entrance.
Yeah, that's because that's Antarctica.
Yeah,
and so if you go around Antarctica on a
67,000. Was it? Sorry, you said
67.
Was it 67?
I think it's at 200.
67,000.
So he claims to have gone 67,000 miles. He might have gone around Antarctica a few times.
Yeah, well, he might do.
I mean,
He might not know what he's doing.
That's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah, Captain Cook. Yeah.
yeah.
Hello. There's this guy here. He looks so familiar, like the guy yesterday.
We don't know. It's,
I probably wouldn't film them while they're walking away. I don't think it's a bit fair. Why? Because they might not want to be filmed.
yeah, but you're in public place.
Well, this is true.
Yeah. I try to be a bit respectful, but.
Sorry, anyway, so we were saying about the accident with the lodge. So, you standing, that sort of.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. That guy there that I was filming walking away. It looked like a guy that was having the most intelligent, educated conversation that I've had. Educated, I wouldn't say intelligent, educated. Let's give these guys a leaflet. Would you like to grab a leaflet?
I don't want to grab
No?
it.
Would you like to agree with it?
I'm interested in what you guys have to say.
Well, I was going to give you a leaflet, but it didn't seem like you're interested.
So let's not quite identify. So let's say you're 500. And then if I was standing 5 foot, then let's put it up to.
Well, it's okay. That's all right. Sorry? Well, I was trying to give you a leaflet, but it didn't seem. You seem as though. Why? There you go, buddy.
You're standing over there.
You're welcome. See, I can only talk with the leaflet because it explains quite a few facts.
I can
You see?
but
There is lots of land that you shouldn't be able to see, and that's a problem because there has to be a calculation formula for the Earth, doesn't there? It's called Pythagorean's theorem. They use spherical trigonometry. Okay, but in that leaflet, you've got Blackpool there. It was in the Blackpool Gazette, and it stood on Blackpool Promenade. You could see the Isle of Man on a good clear day, mind you, because when I went, I could just about see a.
they say that it's 15-mile.
Something like that. But anyway, this was an amazing good clear day, and this was in the Blackpool Gazette. But 2,500 feet should be hidden based on that spherical trigonometry. 2,500 feet. The highest mountain is 2,000 feet. So you shouldn't be able to see that. So we're saying, like, why is the land that we can see? That's Dover to Calais there. And what's it? Based on that spherical trigonometry, 300 feet should be missing. But I can see the whole of White Cliffs of Dover. You shouldn't be able to see.
From my point of view, I'm a sceptic in lots of things in life.
So you don't believe in governments and the government's telling the truth in that?
No. Oh, absolutely.
They're telling a lot of lies. Right, so we're really.
I'm in the real world.
Right. Okay. No, that's good.
I always want to find out that I'm good with arguments and stuff like that. And the trouble I have, and the arguments that you'll probably have, is you've got thousands of years of history, hundreds of years of.
I don't know if I can trust the history.
I understand. But then you've got one photograph that's saying that you've got proof to be flat. And the trouble is, if you can't listen to hundreds of years of people talking it, then one photograph ain't going to do it.
Oh, well, no, but I'm not just. I can show you thousands of them. But look, I mean, like, would you agree that the winners write the history books?
Oh, yeah.
You know, so are we being told the truth on our history? One of my biggest things that really bugged me when I was starting out on this was people telling me about Eratosthenes. Eratosthenes who was the inventor of the circumference of the Earth, who mapped all that out. He did it through, some say obelisks, some say wells, or sticks and shadows, and he measured the angle between all this, okay? This is taught as fact in school, this is. And so he measured out these angles and all that. One was in Cyan, the other one was in Alexandria, okay, and the distance between that, and I think some trigonometry or something, he knows the distance of the circumference of the Earth. My problem with this is when this was all done, okay, I think Alexandria Library got burnt down like 3 or 4 times, like back then, but that's not the point. The point is there is no record of this guy ever existed. There's no sculptures, there's no tablets, there's no scrolls, there's no writings, there's no books, there's nothing. And yet this is taught in school as fact. Now I just asked, do the winners write the history books? And then all of a sudden this just comes out, I don't know, 15th, 16th century or something, and it was meant to be like 400 years BC or something, I think it was.
I mean, the main word is control, whether it's due by religion, science, or anything else, through history.
You're halfway there, aren't you?
No, I'm very clued up on everything.
Right. See, I wasn't.
I keep an open mind because I mean, it's like the moon thing. As a normal human being, I tend to say, it's all there. What's the point in fucking trying to say that this didn't exist?
Yeah.
But when you look into it...
So what's your stance now with the moon landings? Where are you?
I'm still open. No, I believe
still
it.
open.
I believe
but
it.
You've seen a lot of the discrepancies.
I believe it happened, but I still would like to meet someone in power that can ask specific questions.
It's difficult on the moon landings because America was so determined to beat Russia.
Well, the way I've come to it now is that something's happened and it's all true, but what we see, there's a lot of it that's just been made up for the press, for the anything else. So the trouble is, you're never going to know which bits are true and which bits are not because of the fuck up of just trying to control the public, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a lot bigger than we've got now. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of like my number one proof is land that you shouldn't see. And the thing is, and my other thing that kind of rocked my world a little bit is gravity. Gravity is taught in school as a fact. It's the theory of gravity, and you ask science, what this is. They don't even know what it is.
Yeah, they're questioning it now anyway. So. They're not calling it gravity now. The latest is going into the magnetic side of things.
I just feel like things like that are taught as fact in school. Like that, you're to suspend all your critical thinking because it's a given. You know, this is nonsense. They don't want you or me to question things. You know, like, and I didn't even know. I went through my whole school years. It might be different now. But I went through all my whole school years. I didn't even know what critical thinking was. Went right through the whole lot, and I didn't know.
You're not allowed it these days, eh?
And he's right what he says,
you're not
because
allowed
if you
You're not
critically
allowed to
think
ask the
yourself
right question.
and ask the questions that don't conform, do you think that you'll pass that exam if you don't repeat? We've got to repeat and regurgitate.
Yeah, that's the way they control it. But anyway, keep it going, buddy.
Really good talking to you. Cheers. I'll have to say I was a little bit rude there at first. I kind of thought that they were being obtuse, you know, like when they say, I'm not having a leaflet. So I said, well, I don't want to speak to you then. But it turned out that they were really nice. So yeah, I need to rein that back in a little bit. I'll just, when you get a little bit fed up sometimes, you know, when people turn around and say, I'm not taking your bloody leaflet. So I think we're about to call it a day. I think it's getting really, really quiet here. What do you think, Harry? We're going to stay a little bit, or it's really, yeah. But that was a few good conversations. Oh, it's there you go. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's the first person who just said go and have a beer. We're not going out for a beer tonight. I've got a couple of cans left in the camper van, so yeah, beer that might go down well. I actually had we were in the restaurant yesterday because we were trying to get our laptops charged up and get footage, you know, online, and I ended up having 3 ciders there that didn't really agree with me. I mustn't. Note to oneself: don't drink cider. It doesn't work with me. So say that. Oh yes. Oh, I thought. Oh yes, we got to go back. Yes. And there was something else I wanted to do. Oh, we were going to go down to Costa, wasn't we? We were going to charge up. Oh, you can sit outside. I can sit inside. Yeah, so we were going to sit outside Costa and recharge our laptops up for this evening. So we're still having yeah, cider wants to make you fight. No, just give me an upset tummy. No, I always thought it was Stella, wasn't it? Stella, that was they call it the wife beaters drink, wasn't it? I don't know, something like that. Was it Stella? I'm sure it was. Right, see what? Right guys, let me just put you on ourselves. So it's getting a little bit quiet here, the wind's picking up. It is 4:15, I think. St Austell's a wrap. Alright guys, do you want to leaflet?
Oh, no, I just want to know why I can't read.
Alright, okay, it's we're telling people that you've been lied to in school, that gravity isn't real, and that you don't live on a 1,000 miles an hour.
The gravity wasn't real. How we
density and buoyancy. The molecules in this. Oops. There you go. Right, grab one of them. Okay. Let me just put that out there. Density and buoyancy. No, that's okay. Density and buoyancy, that's what is perceived as gravity, okay? So the molecules in this are heavier than the air around it, and that's why things fall. But if I ask any sort of science professor, physics teacher or something and say, what is gravity? You know what he'll say? I can show you, and he'll drop something, but I can't tell you what it is.
Can't prove that.
They don't know what it is.
Can't prove that.
Well, that blew my mind. The fact that they don't know what gravity is. It's 2018, for God's sake. We're not talking about that we're in the Middle Ages.
I get what you mean. Can't prove that.
Can't prove it.
The guy that discovered gravity, didn't he prove it?
Sir Isaac Newton, okay, he talks about gravity. It was Copernicus 150 years before then was talking about gravity. You know, like, but this is just one guy's theory. That's like you turn around and saying to me, I think that bike's made of blancmange. That would be your theory. Oh, and then your friend here says, oh, I believe him. Well, there you go. So it must be right because it's a theory. Look, there's a web address in on that leaflet. There's some great videos for you guys to watch. No, well, I hope I haven't. He's got to do some research. Yeah, do some research. Don't listen to what I'm saying. All right then, guys. Oh, certainly don't listen to what I'm saying. You know, I'm here to lead you and not to brainwash you. Right, guys. Okay. So, as I said, we're going to call this a wrap up now, and we may see you later in the hangout later. I'm not sure what time it is. We'll have to speak to Roxanne later, who will be organising that. We're going to try and park up outside one of the supermarkets, and we'll film some of the reactions of some of the customers who think of sticked van as crazy. But we'll see. Right. Catch us later. Cheers, guys. Cheers all.